Hey guys, Sean here. Welcome to the F1 Word and to the qualifying watch-along for the 2025 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And it's a Baku Grand Prix. It's Azerbaijan. I won't take Baku as an answer. Hey to everyone in chat. I'll do some shout-outs in a moment. Hope you all had a good week and are ready for a good weekend of F1 action. Looks close out there again. We'll go through the FP3 stuff in a moment. It does look like another close weekend, perhaps even closer than Monza was. So let's see what happens. But as always, very much looking forward to a good weekend of qualifying and hopefully a cracking race tomorrow. It is Baku, so it could be somewhat chaotic. It certainly was. The F2 was a little bit chaotic at times this morning or this afternoon. Where are we? It's really weird. Baku, Singapore, some of these earlier races just really do throw me sometimes. But yeah, it was a little bit chaotic in F2. It's very windy out there as well. There's a bit of rain around, so that could be a factor. But hopefully it's going to be a good weekend, whatever happens. Hey to Biker John, to Michael as well. Says good morning, Sean. Hello, chat. Hey to B53. Hey to Red Raven. Hope you well, mate. Pascal as well. Good afternoon, Sean and chat. Hope you are doing well. You too, mate. Fud says it's nice to see F1 Baku in action. Or Baku to the action, actually said there. Hey to Jacob. Hello to Tim as well. Red Raven says, hi, Sean. Just finished watching the Red Bull Junior video. Very good job there. Thank you, mate. It's a few people didn't quite get the point, I think, or reacted to the title rather than actually watching the video. But yeah, it was an interesting one to make. Sort of, if you've not seen it, sort of looking at the sort of not the rise and fall, because I don't think it's fallen, but it's sort of its decline over the years and where we are now and what's still to come. So I quite enjoyed making that one. Nice to do that one. Baku is definitely easier to spell. It's also easier to say. It's not quite Azerbaijan, is it? So, or Azerbaijan was it? That he said, Azerbaijan, something like that. But yeah, anyway, yeah, hope you're having a good weekend anyway. I'm ready for this one. I'll run through the FP3 stuff very, very quickly, let you know. It's a really weird time today here in the UK for qualifying races. I'm not complaining, it gets out of the way nice and early, but it just throws me off. Hey, J Webb as well says another race where the weather apps have shown rain all weekend, but looks like nothing again. Yeah, about right, J Webb. You're not wrong there, mate. You're not wrong. So Lando Norris topped FP3. A bit of a scruffy weekend, actually, for McLaren as a whole. I think Piastri sat out. I mean, a lot of them sat out a chunk of FP1, but Piastri with mechanical problems. Norris hit the wall in FP2. McLaren then asked Piastri to hit the wall in sympathy. They didn't really. He touched the wall, but he was okay, kept going. Then I think Norris was struggling with his car this morning, but eventually found pace to top the session with a 141.223. Verstappen a couple of tenths further back, and Piastri less than half a tenth off him in third place. So a good mix up there. Lewis Hamilton actually only 200ths off Piastri this morning, so it's close at the front. Antonelli fifth and Russell sixth. Russell's been poorly all weekend. Missed a lot of stuff earlier in the media day and things like that. So hopefully feeling better for him. It still seems quick, though, which is interesting, so not dragging him down too much. Alex Albon 7th, Ollie Bearman 8th, Liam Lawson 9th, Charles Leclerc 10th, a second-ish, covering the top 10, top 11, really, with Hadjar in 11th place. Nico Hulkenberg 12th, Carlos Sainz 13th, Fernando Alonso 14th, Franco Colapinto 15th, Yuki Tsunoda 16th, Esteban Ocon 17th, Gabriel Bortoleto 18th, Pierre Gasly 19th, and Lance Stroll in 20th place. So, yeah, not as close as we've seen in recent weeks or in recent races, but it is expected to close up a bit for qualifying. There is rain in the air. We started to get some drizzle towards the end of the F2, so that made that a bit more interesting. So maybe we'll see a bit of rain in the air at least, or there could be a downpour before the session to make the track a bit more slippery. But something to look out for going into this session. Just listening to Sky before I went live there with Bernie Collins, she was talking about perhaps the medium could be an option for qualifying today, as we've seen in the past this season, actually, haven't we? A few times drivers trying the medium rather than the soft and getting some good laps in. So let's see if that's what we see today. I'd expect mostly softs, but you might see a few drivers like, Mercedes like to try it, don't they? Ferrari might, just to try a medium tyre out initially. But yeah, very much Baku's a tricky one, because we've seen a few times in recent weeks, haven't we, in qualifying, teams try sort of the two runs, but it's a bit more tricky to do that in Baku, about keeping heat in tyres and keeping life in them. So it'll be interesting to see where we go with this one, but mediums might be a possibility. Red Raven says, not sure if scruffy is the right word. Literally not. I'm not a native speaker. I would have said it's wonky. They are still clearly number one, but with flaws. Scruffy, when I say scruffy, and I may be wrong with my my use of the word as well, but scruffy to me is just not a clean weekend. Things haven't been McLaren perfect. Oh, they're still the favourites. They're still by far the best team out there. But yeah, that's sloppy maybe. because I know they had some a wonky. Wonky is a great word, but they also had the didn't they miss their transport to the circuit, I think, as well, because of strikes, and that's caused them problems. So it's just generally not been, let's say, not been a perfect weekend for McLaren so far, but we've seen that a few times this season. Even though they've been the best across the weekend, we've seen drivers sneak in and cause a few upsets, haven't we? So also Harry Benjamin in commentary this weekend, which is awesome. It means I'm not going to have Crofty screaming in my ear tomorrow, which is always a bonus. Unclean weekend. Yeah, unclean. That'll do. It's been an unclean weekend for McLaren so far. That'll do. Morris says the McLaren car is perfect. The driver's just doing the maximum bite to try and not win the Drivers' Championship as usual, says Morris. Yeah. There was a discussion in the group chat this morning about this season and how off it feels. And I think we've sort of, the conclusion's sort of been drawn, and I think it's fair that because we've got these rules now have stagnated, there's no significant development between now and the end of the season. Now we'll see things like Singapore specific wings or specific wings for certain upgrades specific to a circuit, which aren't really upgrades. They're in the pool already. They're just things that they bring to them. So there'll be changes that will get listed when you see your car display procedures, but there's no major updates. So there's no real development. The field is close, but there's not really going to be a huge amount of change in there now because nobody's developing anything. The Constructors' Championship is done. Everyone's already talking about next year. McLaren are determined to manage this championship between their drivers, and it just takes a shot. There's just not really that much excitement out there for it, and it's a real shame. And I saw a few people on social media talking about how it's, a ridiculous narrative to say that it's a bit of a dual championship because it's not two drivers smashing into each other. I mean, that's absolute. I mean, that's bullshit, isn't it? Nobody's saying they want to see Norris and Piastri crashing into each other and going full on Senna and Prost. They don't have to destroy their relationship in order to give us a good title fight. All we're asking is that we don't have McLaren going, oh, your teammate made a mistake or we made a mistake. That's your fault. You need to let the driver through or whatever. The management's just the frustrating thing. So I don't buy that at all. And it's I've also seen it described as one of the most interesting championship battles we've ever had, and I spent about 20 minutes laughing at that tweet. But anyway, it's really, yeah. So it's not that I want to, I've said this before. I don't need to see a Senna versus Prost or a Schumacher versus Hill or a Hamilton versus Rosberg, but just something. I'm not saying they don't care, but it does come across a little bit like they're just not really that fussed. As Moray said, they're trying their best not to win the championship. I'm not saying they're doing that, but it does feel a bit like sort of. It's too friendly. There needs to be some bite in it. I've said this a lot over the last few weeks, so it's not it's not that I need to see them punching each other or throwing each other into a wall. I just need to see something. So it's difficult to get excited. And I think there is an element, I will say, and I think this is fair. I think there is an element of I don't really support either driver, so I don't really care either way. So there is an element of that in there as well. It's not just all about what McLaren are doing. If this was Verstappen versus 2021, I'm going to have my horse in that race, aren't I? I'm going to want one of those to win. You probably know who, whichever side it is. But yeah, I'm going to have the one I want to back there. So it's different then. Schumacher versus Villeneuve, I gave a damn about that, or Schumacher versus anybody, or even himself. I gave a damn about that. So maybe there is an element of that, but I can't. It's difficult. And I think the numbers on the channel, the numbers on, everywhere to do with F1 prove that things are a little bit meh at the minute. But I will say, if they do come together this weekend or next weekend, things will improve. Yeah. Kevin would like to see some punches thrown, but I'm surprised at that because Kevin should be pretty happy that this weekend the Constructors is probably going to get wrapped up. So very, very happy. Verstappen versus Leclerc would be fun, Warren. Yeah, that would be tricky for me, though. Verstappen, my driver, Ferrari, my team. That could be interesting, couldn't it? That could be good. What does Sean do then? Oh, no. Red Raven says the season just feels off in general. I still don't feel thrilled about the championship fights. It's 21. Controversial. I said this in a meeting a couple of weeks ago, a content meeting I was having with Sam and everybody else. But I said it's weird that I actually think Verstappen's dominant title-winning year was more exciting than this one. It's really weird because there was no championship fight. But again, that could come down to the fact that was my driver dominating. So there you go. That's probably why it was. But I understand from a McLaren point of view they need to manage their drivers, but if they wrap up the Constructors this weekend, which barring some kind of absolute disaster they're going to, and if they don't win it here, they'll win it next time out. Once that's done, hopefully they can just say to the drivers, get on with it. But I know they want to maintain their image and the fairness, because F1's fair. When's F1 ever been fair? When's life ever been fair? That might be a bit deep for this stream, but it might be a conversation for an upcoming video or stream, that's for sure. I enjoyed the season, obviously helped by Sauber being reasonably competitive, but overall it has been a great season so far, especially in the midfield, says Pascal. I think as a season as a whole, I've enjoyed quite a bit of it. I'm just thinking more about, the championship fight hasn't been very exciting, but I think seeing Sauber's resurgence and almost, and I'm talking to Pascal here, but I think almost out of nowhere, really, Pascal, it was looking like another awful season, wasn't it? Then suddenly Spain came and the upgrades, and boom, off they went, and they've just impressed so many people. So, yeah. Morning, everyone. I've already said hi to Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Hope you're all right, mate. Michael says, predictions, 6 different drivers tap a wall during the qualifying. What are you saying, chat? 6 people. Surely more than 6. I'll go 9 different drivers. And tap or brush. There you go. You summed up my feeling extremely well too. It feels like a friendly game as opposed to a championship fight. Yeah, that's probably that's better than all the waffle. That's the line I needed, rather than just all the waffle I threw at it. Sort of, yeah. I don't know. It's sort of difficult to explain in some ways without sounding like I'm being really negative, because I'm not. Because at least we have a championship fight, but it doesn't. Or we have a championship. It doesn't feel like a fight, a championship battle, but it doesn't feel like a fight, if that makes sense. So they're talking to Liam Lawson now on Sky, who is, if we're led to believe, or if we read between the lines, we're led to believe it is a shootout between Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda for that second seat at Racing Bulls. And if you want my input, I think respectfully, and I think the guy's great, and I think it feels really shitty that he's not on the grid next year, but I think Yuki Tsunoda's had his chance, and it's time to give Liam Lawson a full season in one bloody car. Wouldn't that be nice? Let him have next year, see how he gets on alongside Arvid Lindblad, and then decide from there. But I suppose actually, if you want to assess Arvid Lindblad, would Yuki Tsunoda be the better driver with his experience? No offense to Liam Lawson, but potentially a better benchmark. I guess it depends what they want to do with Lindblad. If they do promote him, which it looks like they're going to, then maybe Tsunoda's the way to go because of that experience, the better benchmark to put him against. I don't know. I think Liam Lawson had a rough ride in F1. Came in, replaced Ricciardo, performed exceptionally well, didn't get the seat. Ricciardo got the seat despite it being the junior team. Lawson then got drafted in for less than the second half of the following season, for the final few races. Then got 2 races in the Red Bull, right in at the deep end, dropped back down to Racing Bulls. I think he just needs a season where he just gets to stay in the same team and car, and maybe he might have a chance of actually finding his feet a bit better. But when you're chopping and changing all the time, how do you expect somebody to settle down and grow and mature as a driver? That's what I would say, but I guess, again, depends what they want to do. If they're looking for a way to measure how good or bad Arvid Lindblad is, then putting him alongside someone with the experience of Yuki Tsunoda maybe makes more sense. But we'll see. We'll see. I think folks find it less interesting as we're not used to teammate rivals being so friendly, says Fudd. Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I think there is an element of the management thing, though, from McLaren, which is just so unnecessary. These are on a... we're told this is the pinnacle of motorsport. We're told these are the 20 best drivers in the year in the world. Not sure I agree with that, but so surely these two should be trusted by their team to be able to fight cleanly. And if they come together, that's when you step in. But maybe they don't trust them. I don't know. You're assuming Red Bull makes sense. Dangerous game. That's a fair point. I'll take that one. Liam wouldn't let anybody buy, says Kevin. Yeah, good. Let them race. Still better than Bottas versus Hamilton. The two drivers are more closely matched. Was Bottas versus Hamilton ever a championship fight, though? I remember. I going back a few years now. A bit of reminiscing, but I remember a lot of people talking about how Valtteri Bottas was a title contender in 2019, I think it was. And I just found it hilarious. Anybody thought that. I was like, it's just not. No, it's not going to happen, and it didn't. A bit like when Perez was going for the title against Max Verstappen. I was sort of like, yeah, all right then, sure. I don't know if ever a fight for the title, but it is, as a teammate battle, it's definitely better. Although I feel like there's as many team orders at McLaren as there were at Mercedes. And I did find it interesting as well, in the gap between races, Lando Norris was asked about papaya rules, and he said, I haven't got the exact quote in front of me, it was something along the lines of, we don't have papaya rules anymore, we never did. If you never had it, you can't not have it anymore. It had to exist for you not to have it anymore. So we know papaya rules exist because they told us it did. So I don't know why that narrative's now been pushed around by people at McLaren that there's no papaya rules when they told us there were papaya rules. But anyway, Red Bull is committing the same error as always. Fornaroli is a free agent, can get him cheap, more talented than Lindblad, and is more mature, prepared for F1, says Moray. I'd probably agree with the point about being prepared for F1. Lindblad has... He's not. I don't think Lindblad's ready for F1. I didn't think Antonelli was ready for F1. I think Lindblad would really benefit from a second season in F2. So, I mean, I've already said I'd leave things as they are at Red Bull for another season, but that's going to be not what they do, is it? But I think Lindblad needs another season. But I think looking at the two drivers, and I really like the look of Fornaroli, but I feel like Lindblad maybe has a little bit more potential at this stage. It's hard to gauge. F2 is a very hard one to gauge because one season a driver can look like, the next Lewis Hamilton, and the following year they can look like the next Lance Stroll. So it's sort of difficult to kind of work out season to season. Is that rain? I think we'll have some rain in Baku, which is in... How warm is it, though? It's going to disappear quite quickly, isn't it? So difficult to judge them. But Fornaroli's having an excellent season. But, Drugovich didn't get a chance, did he? And I think that's the point I made in the Red Bull video, that, unless I took that bit out, it was certainly part of the waffle I was having anyway, that a driver can win F2 and never get a chance, and then another driver can just be a bit meh and get an opportunity. And it's a bit weird how that works, but I guess that's driver academies and things like that, isn't it? You're not going to... Why would Red Bull take Fornaroli, who's not part of their driver academy, instead of Lindblad, who they've paid a lot of money to pay for his racing career? I guess that's the problem with it, but yeah. Isn't Drugovich on Haas's payroll? I thought he was with Aston Martin Rev Raven, but that may have changed for this season, I'm not sure. Crazy Ninja says, Oscar, Lando's engine blew up in Zandvoort, please retire to keep things fair. It did as an F2, yeah, caught that one, that was fun. Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? Difficult. I don't know. Any questions is what I was going to say. I had another really great point to make, and believe me, it would have blown your mind, whatever it was, I'm sure. But any questions ahead of the session, F1 related? We've got 7 minutes till the start, till we get going. So I'll set up the timing and everything soon. And we'll go from there. But yeah, I'm hoping it's like a season where Mansell PK have a dominant Williams, says Moray, pussyfoot around all season, then Prost Verstappen, get them in the last race. Obviously, but also forgetting any bias, right? I still think it'd be amazing if McLaren were too busy going, after you, sir. No, after you, sir. And Max is like, cheers. And then just disappears, wins all the race between now and the end of the season, does a Vettel 2013, wins the title, and McLaren go, oh, shit. That would be a lot of fun. It would also set up a really epic end to the season. But, yeah, I don't see that happening. I know his win in Monza was a little bit unexpected. He looks quick this weekend, but there are tracks coming up that on paper... And I know races aren't run on paper, but on paper, probably aren't going to suit the Red Bull too well. So my hope is actually that the upgrades for Monza have brought Red Bull right back into play. And by Red Bull, I mean Verstappen, of course. So if he can't win the title, which I don't think he can, mathematically he can, and if anybody can, Max Verstappen can, but I don't think he will. But at least being up there and getting in amongst it and causing McLaren problems and forcing them to make difficult decisions, that's what we need to see. So, but it would be good. It would be good. Did you feed the dog, Sean? Yes, I did. He's always got. He's a grazer. He doesn't. When he was a puppy, he had meal times, but as he's got older, he just started grazing. So he'd have a little bit here and there. So he doesn't eat stupid amounts, and we only ever fill it sort of once in the morning, then once in the evening, but he just grazes through the day. So yeah. Singapore should be good for Max. Here in Singapore should be good for Max, says Warren. Yeah, I think Singapore, was it last year they were a bit poor there, Singapore, or was I thinking of a different season where they were the dominant force, then dropped off? That was 23, wasn't it? And then dropped off, and suddenly we got some surprises, and then they bounced back, and everyone was declaring at the end for Red Bull, and then they came back and just won everything. So yeah, it's I find Singapore's a weird one. You can have a season where you look back at Mercedes dominance as the music kicks in, Mercedes dominance, and then they get Singapore and they struggle, or Red Bull dominance and they get Singapore and they struggle. What is it about Singapore? Give me 2 seconds and I'll back with you. I'm just going to have to do some switching around on some headphone jacks and stuff. So 2 seconds and I'll be with you. All done. Why don't you use wireless headphones, Sean? Because I just answered the inevitable question from somebody. Because wireless headphones, wireless mice, a wireless mouse, keyboards. I don't trust the connections on them half the time. So, and then I'll lose them and get angry. So just plug it in. It's fine. Yeah. Right, let's get the everything set up. So we look like we are getting ready to go here. So let me see if I can just get this to work without changing too much. I assume not. There are we. So we are, where are we? Azerbaijan, aren't we? There we go. Qualifying, timing. Yeah, there we go. So I didn't need to change the track map. That's fine. And what did we work out last week? 9,500, didn't we? There we go. All good. Not last week, last race. Doesn't feel like a couple of weeks since the last race, by the way. Just as a random aside. This season is flying by. Very much so. So, yeah, I think we're ready to go. So, yeah, we have got quali around the corner. Of course, there is no on-track footage for obvious copyright reasons. Lifetime provided by the awesome folks over at Multiviewer for F1. Thank you to those guys for allowing us to use them on the streams. Link in the description if you want to go and customize your own viewing experience with as much data or as little data as you would like. So, we've got the track map. We've got the timing tower. You've got my horrific face. We've got a few photos. We're ready to go. Singapore test teams beyond their capacity and is late enough in the season that teams do not have any spare capacity left. That's a good shout. It's a long weekend, isn't it? But I did wonder, actually, though, maybe, I don't know how you feel about this, Red Raven, and others as well. I do wonder if it's quite a unique track, isn't it? So I wonder if dominant teams have got a car that's very good on lots of different tracks and maybe doesn't suit Singapore, maybe. But yeah, it's definitely a long weekend. I mean, it's like the longest bloody race of the season, isn't it? So yeah, I think unless that's changed with the arrival of some other tracks, but I feel like it's still up there as the longest. Crofty Brundle skipped this weekend, thankfully. Need a break from them too. No, I like Martin Brundle. I like the fact he's gone grumpy old grandad. It's great. I feel like I'm heading that way myself. But yeah, Crofty not screaming at me, it'll be a nice change. What have we got? So 7.9 kilometre an hour winds at the moment, coming from the east, whichever direction that is. Track temperature 27.7, air temperature 20.9. No chance of rain apparently, but cars are cute in the pit lane, so maybe a bit of concern there is rain in the air, but we definitely saw some drizzle a couple of minutes ago, didn't we? Lots of gaps in the grandstands, by the way, not like holes, but where people should be sat. I also saw I think it was Dave who does the motorsport broadcasting blog website. He's booking his tickets for Silverstone, and apparently parking for the 4-day weekend at Silverstone is £420. I imagine everyone's just passed out. £420 for parking for 4 days at Silverstone. You'd be better off, reading the comments at least, from what on his post, you'd be better off start parking at Heathrow, paying for that and getting public transport in. Yeah, it's sort of bonkers, really, if that is the case. So I don't know if that's a specific type of parking, but I wouldn't pay £420 parking anywhere. Certainly not Silverstone. So what would be considered normal for Silverstone? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what... I mean, look, it's not the same thing, but I park in the Lincoln City car park and it's £2.20. So, you know, I'm not saying that's the same thing, but yeah, £420 for 4 days seems insane. I mean, if that comes with security, maybe you could justify it, but pretty sure it's another one of those car parks where you leave your car there and you are responsible for what happens. So Chris is walking to Silverstone. I don't blame you. Qualifying is go. We'll go for Q1 then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let's see what is going to happen today. Very much looking forward to this. I'm a little bit ahead actually on my timing, so I'll just try and get that in line with the Sky one a bit better. So I'm not 2 hours ahead, but there we go. See how we go. Looking forward to this. I think it's very windy, so we're going to see mistakes here. We're going to see drivers get caught out. Everybody at the moment heading out on the soft tyre, so no mediums as it stands. Maybe with the rain hovering around and threatening, they just want to get these laps banked now. So let's see. It's very gusty, very, very gusty. If you've got a good car, Alpine will allow you to park in their garage, says Citizen Erased, yeah. And run it for the weekend, yeah. Never been to England, still on my to-do list, says Red Raven. Yeah, look, I don't want to be partially northern about this. But if you do come to the UK, don't just stick with London. There's so much more to see in this country than London. And frankly, so much better things to see in this country than London. York is amazing. Lincoln's a beautiful place, just saying. I'm a bit biased there. Lots of lovely places, Lake District, things like that. So if you do come to the UK, it's not just all about that big capital city that's the only thing ever talked about. The North exists. I'm not technically north, but I feel north. Anything above is at the M25 is pretty much northern. Anyway, so Alex Albon's going to be first to get a lap on the board if I'm reading that driver tracker right. So just coming through the final, it's not really a corner, it's a kink. And the detection point for the DRS, then the activation. A long way down the straight, actually, the start-finish line. Always catches me out in Baku because it's not much of a run to turn one, is it? So Jay Webb says, first Grand Prix I attended was 2019 Germany. I was pretty lucky. Yeah. What a race that was. That was chaos, wasn't it? Did you catch the rain at the end? did you have a brolly? Yeah, that was a chaotic weekend, wasn't it? That was the weekend Mercedes turned up in their retro gear and it all went wrong, wasn't it? So we have got some medium runners, by the way. Norris and Tsunoda trying the medium tyres. So at least according to the timing tower. Yeah, a lot of leaves out there. A lot of there's been some branches. Sounds a bit dramatic. Not like whole trees coming down, but we have seen quite a lot of bits and bobs falling off trees and all over the track. So it's going to cause problems. It depends how warm. I mean, tomorrow's supposed to be cooler than this. It's supposed to be sort of 19, 20 degrees. Although it is only 21 at the minute there, so not much cooler, but certainly cooler than yesterday. But if it does warm up at all, and we've got lots of debris in the radiators, that could make things interesting during the race. But I quite like that retro livery, though, Red Raven. I quite liked it. The whole paint being peeled away thing. But yeah, that's Toto. I'm paraphrasing to a point, but didn't Toto come out and say something afterwards like, well, that's what you get for messing around with all of this nonsense and not focusing on the weekend, or something along those lines? I might be misremembering, but yeah, he wasn't very happy after that weekend at all, was he? Albon first across the line with a 1:43.778. That's Hulkenberg 44.2 goes into second place. Yeah, that drag strip was bizarre, wasn't it? 43.1 for Bearman, by the way, tops of time. Yeah, the drag strip was bizarre that season because all that year it was just any amount of a front tyre touched that drag strip and it was just either straight to the wall or you're spinning to stay out of the wall. It was chaotic. I mean, even Verstappen won that race relatively comfortably, but even he had a spin at one point, didn't he? So yeah, it was chaotic, that race. Bizarre. I do miss Hockenheim, every version of Hockenheim. I'd like to go back there. It is in discussions apparently, so that's positive. Hadjar goes third. Sainz is fast by way 42.6, but yeah. Double yellows. We have somebody off track down at turn one. Looks like may have been Carlos Sainz or Isack Hadjar. In fact, Hadjar's very slow, so it might be Hadjar. We'll see what's happened to him if we get a replay. He's very slow. Might be letting traffic go. but Hadjar may be in trouble. I've not got the TV feed, hasn't picked it up yet, so I'm relying on the driver track. It seems to pick up speed between 2 and 3 though, so might be okay and letting traffic through. So I'm assuming just gone straight on, but we'll see. Hey RC mate, hope you well. Kevin says, did anybody hear Trump say but peace to Azerbaijan? Yeah, I saw the there was a bit done by, is it Jon Stewart in the US? I watched a clip on YouTube where he poked a bit of fun at that, which was quite yeah very strange. As long as it's not Stanikov at turn 1, it's safe. I watched that. I saw you posted that on the Blue Sky Twitter alternative. I was like, what's Stanek done? I went and had a look at it. It was like, oh bloody hell, what the hell is the idiot doing? And what did he get for that? Did he get a penalty at all? It was, Kevin. It was a delivery was just perfect, absolutely perfect throughout. Shut the fuck up. Verstappen's gone perfect in the middle sector. Yeah. 2 points at the back of the grid. Oh, it's not a... somebody else is off, by the way. Albon stopped on track. Has he hit the wall on the exit of turn 1? I'm just wondering, will they get that? So they're going to get their laps in here. I don't think they could probably call it now. That's a red flag. Yeah, I wonder if Albon's hit the wall on the exit of turn 1 because he stopped down there. He might be a mechanical problem. So Piastri won't get his lap in here. He has hit a wall. Has he hit the inside? That looks like he's hit the inside wall. Or has he been round? We're about to find out, I'd imagine. We have got a red flag. I thought we might see a few of these today. Here we go. I'm guessing the inside is going to hit. Is he going to... Oh, he does, yeah. Quite a wallop. So he's turned into turn 1 and then just whacked the inside wall and then stopped on pit exit, basically. Oh... I thought he'd gone into the wall on the outside, but he is out of the session, and he's currently 15th, so he's not going to be improving for now, so that's him done. Piastri didn't get his lap in there, by the way, so that'll be frustrating for him. A bit of pressure. Still 11 minutes left, so... that parking will cost more than 2 4. Yeah, that'll be a bit more, just a tad more. Yeah. Frustrating for Albon because Williams looked pretty good this weekend. Sainz were there in 5th place at the minute, so that is a shame. Williams looked good. Very good. Q1 should be easy for Williams there. Looking good this weekend. Thanks, Harry. Yeah. Albon calls red flag number 1. So, yeah, put Albon on your list. Albon on your list of your bingo cards. We had the penalty. Or not a penalty, but the... well, it is a penalty. He's been penalised by hitting the wall, so I suppose it is a penalty, but... Antonelli lost his lap. Sainz lost his lap. Hadjar lost his lap. Double yellow at turn 1. Does that change anything in the order? We'll see if that order changes. It might do, but 3 drivers have lost their laps. Yeah, long race tomorrow indeed, Red Ray. He's going to be surely last, you'd have thought, wouldn't you? Ocon has like a branch on my rear right corner. We'll see. I wait and see whether he has got like a branch on his right rear or whether it's just a branch. Is it like a branch or is it a branch? That's a fantastic hat in the crowd there. A guy with a white hat on and the 3 compounds of tyres. That was, yeah, I'd have one of them for tyre talk. That'd be a lot of fun. Yes. 12 p.m. tomorrow, RC, for the race. I'll be live 11:30-ish. But yeah, 12 o'clock start, so... It gives you the afternoon. We get to go and you get to finish qualifying today, RC, and then go and get nice and drunk ready for the United game tonight and losing to Chelsea. So that'll help you through that one, I imagine. Yeah, I spotted that, Kevin. I was like, I need to get me one of them. I like how they wait until it was totally safe and clear to red flag it, left it yellow as cars on flying laps went through. though, says John T. Andy Boy says, who crashed? It's Albon. He's gone into turn 1, barrier on the inside, hit it with his left front, broken that, and then pulled over, and that was the end of that one. So, yeah. I need to get some ginger ale. My mum and dad came back off holiday with a bottle of Apple Jack Daniels, which I'm looking forward to, RC. Very much looking forward to that. I had it on holiday a few years ago with ginger ale. It's a game changer, I'm telling you. I should sell my own Tyre Talk hat. I should, absolutely. With orange juice, says Art. Well, I've got orange juice. I could do that. Apple Jack Daniels with orange juice. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'll try it. Why not? Bruce's Albon decides to paint the inside wall. Yeah, it's he's taken quite a chunk out of the advertising there. So, but yeah, it's it's one of those ones that it looks a bit silly, but it's just an easy mistake to make on a street track, isn't it? They have noted Antonelli for a yellow flag infringement. So that's not going to be good news generally. It was a reprimand yesterday, but of course this is a proper competitive session. So I'd imagine that might come with a sporting penalty. But yeah, Piastri needs his lap. So does Antonelli. We are about to go. In fact, I think we're not quite green, but we're getting ready to go green. So should be good to go any second, which is good. Yeah, Max on mediums, Norris on mediums, Tsunoda on mediums. Piastri was on mediums. Whether or not they abandon that because he needs to bank a lap now, given that he missed his last lap, I'm not sure. But they might want to try and see if we can get a lap on those rather than wasting another set. Yeah, we're starting in 3 minutes. Q1 will resume at 16:15 local time. That's 1:15 UK, and then wherever it is there from you. Kevin. Morris is wondering if McLaren will ask Norris to give Oscar a tow as he's now in danger. Like they did for Norris the last race. I imagine. Do you know what? I sense the skepticism in that comment there, Warren. I could just sense the tone there perfectly. Probably not. Yeah, I know. It's still 11 minutes RC, but the problem is if he doesn't get his lap in and then there's a red flag, he's in a mess then. But I suppose, at least the clock stops in qualifying, so there is that. But I think I'd probably just send him out on the mediums that he was already running because they should be good for another lap. Get that lap in, even if he only ends up 6th in this session, it doesn't matter, does it? It's about getting through. So no point in burning through tyres, and they can always stick the softs on, like you say, RC, if they need to. So. Now it's officially just a yellow flag, so we'll go yellow. Why not? There you go. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Piastri is on the mediums, and it doesn't look like a fresh set, so it looks like the same set. So fresh set of mediums for Racing Bulls there, though. Albon has set a lap, but he's 15th RC. So even if we pretend that Bortoleto, Colapinto, and Hulkenberg won't improve, you've still got Piastri and Antonelli down there, so you'd expect them to get through. We should be green any minute now. I'm going to put green up because officially the track is green, so... Yeah, like I said, plenty of time for Piastri, but it's just if we get a red flag or anything like that, it gets a bit worrying, so... Sonic Boom says, love it. I'm listening when sitting on the tarmac in Singapore about to fly to Australia. Thank you for joining. Have a good flight, mate. And I say have a good flight. That's completely out of your control, but you know what I mean. Hopefully, you get home all right, and it's not. How long is the flight, Singapore to Australia? I'm intrigued now. That feels like it's not going to be too long, but long enough. Says the guy who's only ever been on a plane once for 20 minutes, never wants to get on one again. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you for tuning in. Is my point there. Ultimately, so. Looking forward to hopefully bringing you what I can from qualifying. Try to keep you updated with what's going on as best I can, but I'm not a commentator. We're just here to relax and watch the F1 together as F1 fans. 7.5 hours and I'll work my way through the wine menu, says Sonic Boom. That sounds good to me. Not the 7.5. Oh, that's 7.5 hours of wine. So that's not... I'm quite happy with that. I'd be okay with that one, yeah. So enjoy Enjoy. Isle of Man RC, which it just is. So I'm exaggerating, but getting a flight from Liverpool to the Isle of Man is basically that. But you know, or it felt like that. So yeah, it wasn't long. It wasn't long. I suppose twice technically, 'cause I had to come back. So yeah, didn't enjoy that. I'm not good with heights at all. So try Toronto to Hong Kong, sitting on a plane for half a day, says Kevin. Oh no. I get there'll be somebody that crops up in a minute and goes, oh, planes are safer than having a shower or something like that. But it's like, yeah, but it's no. It doesn't comfort me. It just makes me nervous of showers, you know. I was about to actually swam back. I may as well have done. It probably would have been quicker, actually, to be fair. It's not far. Really, really nice place, by the way. Beautiful place. It's the Isle of Man. It really is. So he says he didn't see. We were in the middle of it, so he didn't see the yellow flag, he says, Antonelli on the radio there, but he definitely didn't slow down. He definitely overtook somebody under yellow, so that might be trouble. Already done London to Singapore for 12 hours to Sonic Boom. Oof. God. 12 hours is a lot. That is literally half a day, isn't it? So, yeah. That's a lot more wine, though. So, I mean, you know, swings and roundabouts, I suppose. There's positives in there. 25-degree day in London was a tough one to miss. Last day of summer. Only day of summer. That is our one day of summer. So I think if I saw that replay correctly, I think Anthony did overtake on the yellows, but he's saying he didn't see the yellow. So we'll see if maybe the stewards take that into account. I don't know, but there's so many leaves out there. It's quite. They were talking about a lot in practice. It's quite interesting because you've got, you know, the buildings shield the wind. They're like the track from the wind. So then they come out from behind the buildings and suddenly they're getting thrown about all over the place. It's I can't imagine the challenge they're facing there is a lot of fun, to be honest. Chris says, I find people complaining about long flights interesting. From Australia, you just need to fly 18 to 24 hours to get to places. That sounds like I'll walk. It's that's not practical. I'm fully aware that's not practical, but I'll walk. I think if I had the money, I wouldn't mind if I had to go on a flight. I wouldn't mind like a proper first class experience. You know, that'd be a lot of fun. Just wine, sleep. I think I watch a lot of that Walk With Me Tim, and he gets complimentary pajamas and things like that. So you know, bonuses. Anthony will be investigating after the session, by the way, for that yellow flag infringement. So they are going to talk to the driver, but you need to fly 4 to 6 hours just to get to places in Australia. Yeah, it's well, the funny thing is, my sister went to the USA years ago now, and I wouldn't mind going, but she's sort of like, maybe a slight exaggeration, but they almost use planes like taxis in America compared to how we use them over here. So I imagine it's quite similar in Australia as well. Anthony having a really twitchy lap here, let's say. A few swappers on, but he needs to get this lap in, whatever's going to happen. We don't know whether he's going to get a penalty or not, but he's got it really deep at 16. He's off track. That's going to be deleted as well, so he's going to have to back out of it. If I maybe pull him in now and get the soft tyres on with 7 minutes to go, because this lap will not count. It will not count. It depends on the wine, RC. Some wine is absolutely horrific, but some of it is really good. You've got to commit to trying a few to find the right one for you. That should be the slogan for wine. Try a few to find the right one for you. Piastri, okay at the minute. Looks like he's going to get this lap in unless he makes a really bad mistake in these final few corners. Ferrari 1-2, Red Bull 3-4. What's happening? Double yellow. Bortoletto has... Oh, Hulkenberg's in the wall, I think. Are they going to let Piastri get this lap in? This is going to be close, and he does get the lap in, but that is a red flag. Just as Piastri goes over the line, that's a red flag. I think Hulkenberg's in the wall at turn 4. And I think Piastri did that with a second to spare there. Oh, he is in the wall, but he's reversing out. So rather than waiting to see if he could get out, they've thrown a red flag. There's a lot of debris down there, to be fair. I'll let them off, so yeah. Good lap from Piastri on him, but used medium as well, don't forget, to split the Ferraris, who seem to be the dominant force this weekend. Looking forward to that all going wrong in half an hour's time. So what's he done? I'm guessing lockup or just gone too deep and not bailed out of it. Yeah, right front lockup. He's already turning in, to be fair, so it's difficult to bail out of that one with the right front lockup. So he's gone straight into the wall. So it's only the front wing that's been damaged. So he then drove over the front wing. So, yeah, it's not, I wouldn't imagine any suspension damage there. So it should be good to go again, Hulkenberg. Yeah. They're just debating out of Sky, but I think he did just hit that head on. I don't think there was any suspension damage there, but we'll wait. RC says, random comment of the day, while we're in the red flag mode, I went for a walk this morning in the park and saw a squirrel with a Mars bar in his mouth. Surely it should have been a Snickers, you know. Yeah. Sadly, this player has no Wi-Fi, so I'll likely miss the points at the end of quali. Says Sonic Boom. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. But we'll have some fun before you head off. Antonelli is still a junior driver. He drinks coffee with yet. I'm probably reading that wrong, Bruce. Yeah. Yeah, it was tailwind that caught Antonelli out by the sounds of it, by the way. Sonic said I had a deep fried Mars bar in Edinburgh. Is that a Scottish thing? I think, did it originate in Scotland, a deep fried Mars bar? I tried to do it once in a deep fat fryer, but I accidentally left the handle in the fryer as I turned it on, and it melted the plastic everywhere and ruined my fryer, so never again. Deep frying everything is a Scottish thing, says Citizen Erase. There you go. Race control, the FIA in general, alongside Red Bull, are some of the greatest mysteries in life, says Red. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Scotland's a nice place as well. If you're coming to the UK, just saying. I'm just basically a travel agent. Just letting you know that a tour guide. Scotland, anything outside of London. Not that London's a bad place to visit. There's some amazing things in London, but it's there's more to this country than there. So that's all I'm saying. I just listened to Bernie Collins about Antonelli, so JJ Lawn says, come on, Papaya, just 9 points. Yeah, title could be won this weekend, of course. I didn't cover it in a preview because Sam was doing a short, but also it's a bit different to, season finale, McLaren versus Ferrari for the title permutations, when you know that if they don't win it this weekend, they're going to win it next time. So it's McLaren winning the Constructors is a foregone conclusion. So yeah, Cornwall's a nice place as well, Rev Raven. If you ever go like proper northern, Whitby, it's nice in Whitby. Amazing fish and chips, by the way, just saying. Whitby's pretty cool. Especially if you go, is it around Halloween at the Abbey? That's quite fun. They've got steampunk weekends there as well. Yeah, it's a good place. Lots of amazing places is the point. So I can't promise the beer will be cheaper, but it should be cheaper than London. Deep fried candy bars could come from local fairs in the US. That's where deep fried Oreos and cheesecakes come from, says Ginger Fest. There you go. It could be something that's been picked up from the US or vice versa, I suppose. But yeah. If McLaren don't win the Constructors, we're going to have the funniest end to a season anyone's ever seen, said Johnson. Yeah, basically they score nothing between now and the end of the year, and then you'd need Ferrari to pretty much 1-2 everything, I think. But it would be incredible. I paid 20 quid for a whiskey and coke in London, says RC. Bloody hell. 20 quid. You could buy a bottle of whiskey for less than that. A good bottle of whiskey for less than that. Ferrari is my red flag, says the lady in the crowd there with the banner. I'm not sure how to take that. Sure. Brighton Beach is a bit rocky, beautiful, but a beautiful place. Says Sonic Boom. No Savoy, not worth going, says Fudd. You know, Kimi, you have tons of tyres, just need 6.5 minutes, just one clean lap. Toto Wolff on the radio. I think Antonelli's under more pressure than we realise, you know. I don't know. I can't see them changing it for next year. All the noise is that he'll stay whatever, but his comments, Toto Wolff after Monza when he said he was underwhelming, he's coming on the radio now to motivate him. They're trying everything, aren't they? But I don't expect him to get dropped, but I don't think it's as clear cut as maybe we're all expecting it to be. It might be something they decide in a end of the season, but yeah. If you like Walk With Me Tim, says John T, check out Hannah Ricketts. Should be annoying, but is weirdly fun as hell. I will do, yeah. I will have a look on the YouTubes at some point. Yeah. I think that's the problem, Neelish. I think you asked the absolutely perfect question. Who could they drop him for? I think that's the problem, isn't it? There was a report or a rumour or a comment from somebody that came out last week about Carlos Sainz maybe going to Mercedes, but I don't think there's anything in that. I think that might just be somebody passing comment on that he would be a good option rather than anything else, but maybe there's something there. A swap Sainz for Antonelli, and say take Williams for a year. Toto does them an even cheaper deal on their engines or something, I don't know, and they take Sainz in return, but then you'd have to say, well, why don't you just take Sainz in the first place? But anyway, yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's probably at risk longer term, but I think Mercedes options are so limited for next year that they might want to give him that. But also, you've got to remember, first season F1, get all these mistakes out now. He might turn up in Australia next year and be infinitely better than he is now, or have a much better season than he's having. But we'll see what happens over the winter. Yeah, it won't take long for a Colton Herta or an Alex Palou. John T, they're the names that get thrown around all the time, aren't they? Every opportunity. There are more than a few suitable guys on the sidelines, the Red Raven, including one Stoffel Van Dorn. I think he'd do a great job at Mercedes. Just saying. But yeah, just a recap. We are going again. 6 minutes still to go. We are still in Q1. So this one is going on a bit. We've had two red flags. One for Alex Albon hitting the wall on the inside of turn 1, and he is out of the session. And Nico Hulkenberg went straight into the wall at turn 4, broke his front wing. They threw the red flag. He did get going again. But yeah, that caused another red flag. So here we go. I think Van Dorn's at Aston now. I think, basically, Red Raven, whoever you ask me about, they're just at Aston. Just assume everyone's at Aston from now on. But then there is the Bottas. I mean, Bottas is going to Cadillac, of course, so he can't be at Mercedes for next year. But if they decide to make a change before then he's an option. But I can't. So I think Antonelli will see out the season at the very least. But I still think he'll be in the car next year. But there's definitely more pressure there than maybe we're led to believe, I guess is what I'm saying. Right then. Sorry. I just saw Norris stops at turn 1, but of course they're exiting the pit lane, aren't they? So that'll be why. Who desperately needs a lap? Antonelli desperately needs a lap. He's still out on used mediums. Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, Albon. Albon can't improve, of course. And Stroll at the bottom 5. So Albon's definitely out. Looking through the field, I think really Alonso down. Definitely needs to go again, but everyone's out there anyway. Track evolution will be quite high this weekend, with it being a street track, but also with rain sort of in between sessions potentially. That might make things interesting, but I think Tsunoda, to be honest, to your point, John, I think Tsunoda will be the Aston reserve next year if he doesn't keep at one of the Red Bull seats. Makes sense with the Honda tie, doesn't it? So... 4 minutes to go. I was listening to Croon Channel. They're talking push, cool, push. So if there's time for that, we'll see. But the laps are going to start to tumble now. This is where it'll get interesting. The business end of the session. Hulkenberg is out on track. Yes, he's out there now. So all good for him. Like I say, he went into the wall pretty much head on, didn't he? So, I mean, I can't think that he needs to change too much, just the front wing. Still costly. Time lost. A lot of people on build laps. We are going to have 2 cool laps and then a push by the look of it. Or 2 out laps, prep laps. I think Dan Tickton, assuming that's who you're talking about, RC, I think he's in Formula E still, isn't he? Dan Tickton. Antonelli's pushing hard. He is on a hot lap here, or a quick lap. I don't know why I'm tense for him. I don't know why. So he needs to 36.5 is Ocon's time. That's the time to get through to the next session. He's half a second up on that, but down on his own best. So you might see the yellow flash up on a timing screen, but he's still half a second up on a time he needs to get through into Q2. As he comes through turn 7, and then it's this really amazing 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 section, which is really fun when you're doing your preview track map, by the way, trying to get that right. Leclerc is purple in the first sector. He's on a hot lap. Leaves falling in front of the camera there. I'd say look wide there. A little twitchy on the exit again. 18.2 in the middle. Overall, needs to beat Ocon, 41.6. The actual time. Bortoleto reviewed no further investigation for the yellow flag infringement, so... and say that he's going to get a little bit of traffic, should get out of the way though. Does he get 16 right? He looked a little bit cautious through there. Maybe just tried to leave something on the table to make sure he gets his lap in. Leclerc's flying by the purple first sector for Max Verstappen too. So Anthony needs this time. He should be okay now to the line. It is just a straight line. Russell goes fastest on a 41.6. And then over the line goes Kimi Antonelli. Good lap, 6th place. That'll do for now. Will he get another in? Can he? Oh, it's a bit tight to cool and go again, isn't it? 1 minute and 50. I mean, there is technically time, but it's going to be a bit close. Verstappen's slower in the middle sector, but he is quickest in the first. So Leclerc now goes fastest on a 41.4. 1.5 minutes to go. Norris now tops the time sheet on a 41.3. Verstappen will be next to cross the line. He's got a way to go yet. It's a 41.3, 9 thousandths of a second off Lando Norris. This is closer at the front than perhaps maybe practice had showed at times. I don't know, but had a lot going on this week, so I haven't been able to keep up too much on what's been happening in practice, but I've done a bit of reading, so I've got a bit of knowledge, little bit. 42.4 is the knockout time, projected knockout time. Bearman does a 42.6. Ocon comes through now. He needs a good lap. Hadjar drops to 16th as Ocon moves to 14th. Isack needs it. I think I saw a video that he said that it's Isack Hadjar. So I probably need to start saying Isack rather than Isack. But yeah, I'll try my best. Apologies to Mr. Hadjar if I get it wrong. Here he goes into 5th place. Good like that from Hadjar. Good stuff in the Racing Bulls, and through he goes. Who's improving though? Bortoleto. We've got a double yellow out there. That is for a Alpine, I think. I'll give you one guess as to which one it is. In fact, there's 2 cars down there. In fact, I think they've got going now. Maybe he's just gone straight on at 4. Colapinto, but over the line goes Alonso to go 9th, and Stroll is in 8th. As the checkered flag comes out, it is Colapinto. That is going to be a red flag. So we've lost Colapinto, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Gasly, and Albon. But I think, obviously Albon and Colapinto aside, I think think they've all completed laps anyway, so I don't think that's cost anybody. I mean, they're out, but it might have saved Bearman. I'm not sure. Hulkenberg's lap was improving, but not good enough. And Colapinto, it looks like he's just gone... Has he damaged his wing? Or is it Gasly? No, it's Colapinto down there. So Gasly comes into 3. Oh, big slide. And he is going to go into 4, but Colapinto's down there according to the timing tower. So is it both Alpine? Oh, whoa. Jesus, that's what happened to Colapinto. Sorry, that was a random noise. I apologise. He's come through turn 4 with way too much speed and just gone... Well, not wait. Yeah, wow. Into the wall on the exit. That's a hell of a hit. So... with immediate effect, people, turn 4 is now called Alpine. That's it. Gazapinto. Turn 4 is now Gazapinto. Gasly was down there in the skate road. Colapinto's then come in a bit hot and sort of car gets away from him, just smashes into the wall at the side. So quite a big hit there. You also have to bear in mind, I mean, I don't... Can we replay that? I've got my skybox. Let's rewind it. I just wonder as well if there might be a bit of bother here because... Let's see. Yeah, the yellow flags are out. So he's carrying that kind of speed in there with, I think, the yellow flags out. If there's an on-board, that'd be better. There is indeed. Yeah, yellow flags are out. So he might be in a spot bother with the FIA there as well. Maybe you'll disagree in chat. I don't know. But that's, you know, you've got to slow down when you've got the yellow flags down there. And if you're slamming the wall like that, you haven't, have you? So... yeah. Wow. Yeah, what are we calling turn 4? I think Gazapinto or just Alpine. Was it double yellow as well, Fud? Oh, dear. Yeah, that's going to be... Double yellow is slow down and be prepared to stop, isn't it? Not throw it into the corner and stick it in the wall. Yeah. Oh dear. We'll see what the stewards say, but yeah, let's read some of your chat messages. See what we're saying. Let's go back a little bit to hey Nick, good to see you, mate. Hope you're having a good one today. Jane says Q2 has started very fast. Yeah, we're still waiting for Q2. It's a little bit bit of a weird one for Q1. It ran, nearly 40 minutes in the end with all the red flags that we had. Jane also says it's one of the best channels I've ever seen. Thank you very much, Jane. I appreciate that. Always try and come to you all in chat as well, but sometimes when it gets a bit hectic towards the end, I might be focusing on the TV rather than chat. It is Baku F1, Happy Dog. Gabriel Borta... Bubba, I don't know what that means, Bruce. I'm having trouble with Bruce's messages today, trying to work out what they are. Yeah, like Alexander Isack. So Isack Hadjar, apparently is what he said in the video. And I try, when a driver say, I'll try and pronounce the name so as best I can. So for example, during F2, we all called Zhou Guan Yu Zhou. But then he said it's Zhou Guan Yu. So I try to, when a driver specifies exactly how they want their name pronounced, I'll try my best to do it. But a bit like I called Daniel Kvyat. I called him that for years, but then it was Daniel Kvyat. So yeah, just saying. By my count, 3 of 6 crashes so far for Red Raven. Yeah, we need 3 more. And then we'll get the prediction. Site's been noted for following to fail the race director's instructions on maximum delta time. That usually does nothing. Think he missed up the gas as the brakes there for the yellow, says Addy Boy. Alpine should start in F2, says Sonic Boom. They must have moved the barrier a bit, says Paula. Crashgate, says John. Yeah, didn't work. Red Raven says like the stream. Yes, please do drop a like on the stream. Would really appreciate the I'd like to try and get to 100 in these. We've got 52 so far and 563 of you here, so yeah, please do drop a like. It's will be massively appreciated, and keep a close eye on the channel over the coming weeks, because there'll be a few things to be said and videos and live streams and stuff, so would be good to have as many of you there as possible for those. Following the fail, says torpedo kart driving F1. I'll always defend Fiat on that one. I think that was harsh. Name the runoff Briatore Boulevard. Yeah, I like that one, Gingerfest. That could be it. Briatore Boulevard, turn 4. We're just naming corners. We need to. Briatore Boulevard. Yeah. Somebody write that down. John T, write that down. Call the barrier crash gate. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's how it's the right team, isn't it? So could do. Or fail crash gate. That was a great banner. Yeah, there's a few good ones. I'm still not sure about the Ferrari and my red flag. Yeah, weird. Oh, see that Briatore Boulevard equals Boulevard of Broken Dreams. There you go. Very good. And broken car parts, because Hulkenberg was down there as well, don't forget. I think Gazapintoberg might be a bit much as a name. Start time hasn't cropped up just yet, Arian, but it'll be in the next couple of minutes. There'll be a slight bigger gap, of course, while they clear Colapinto's car, but there's no official start time yet. So I'll put the yellow flag up so that we know that there's recovery going on, I suppose, just so we know we're not starting just yet. I didn't see the Franz Hermann one. I didn't, so I'll go and see if I find it on the social media bit. I'm going to watch this again. Yeah, there's double yellows. You're right. It is doubles, isn't it? It's at least waved, but yeah, doubles. Oh, it's quite a hit as well. I'm trying to think about ways to justify it. I mean, you can't even say a gust of wind, can you? Because that wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have thought so. He got distracted by Gazzy, says Bruce. Takira says, evening, Sean. Why was there a red flag just now? Hey, Takira, I hope you're having a good one this weekend. So we had Albon in the wall at the start earlier in the session. And then we had a red flag because Hulkenberg went straight on at turn 4 and hit the wall and broke his front wing, left debris everywhere. Then Gasly ended up in a runoff area as well. And then Colapinto at turn 4, Gasly was in a runoff, just locked up and went straight on. And then Colapinto just came into turn 4, looking to be travelling at a decent speed, and then lost his car and straight into the wall. So that's why we've had three red flags in the first session, which is why we've been going 45 minutes nearly and we're still waiting for Q2 to get going. So yeah, it's been a bit of a long one. Carew said that was a white flag with Franco Rice, so he might get away with it. Was it I suppose, yeah, slow kind of run off white flag would make sense, but yeah, sort of difficult to tell at times on boards, isn't it? But yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt on the yellow flag for now then. I will say on that, there's nothing that's cropped up to say that Colapinto will be investigated for yellow flag infringement. So usually the stewards are pretty quick with those sorts of things. So it probably was a white flag, but all I'll say is there was a flag waving. So yes, yeah, three red flags. It's been one of those. What is Baku? I expect chaos and drama. So Franco was just waving to Pierre and forgot to turn, says Warren. Alpine flying the white flags, a sonic boom. What happened to one of the McLarens? Nothing as far as I know, Kush. Piastri's first run, he didn't get that in because the red flag came out, so he had to go out for a second run to get it in, and did it with, I think it can't have been more than a second or two to spare before the red flag came out again, so it was pretty close. So it's an interesting and dramatic session so far, but let's hope things calm down. I mean, we've lost, just to confirm, we've lost Colapinto, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Gasly and Albon, and Hulkenberg as well. So actually the three drivers who caused the red flags are all out anyway, so we're not going to get a shuffle in the order in that respect, so that's something, I suppose. We're doing that generic crowd shots now while we wait for something to happen. The cameras will pick out anything that's got more than 3 people in it. So Carlando and Curly. Sure, is Carlando a thing? Look, such an old man sometimes. What's this social media thing you speak of? I suppose, yeah, Carlos and Lando were teammates, weren't they? So Lando, yeah. Yeah. Sure. Q2 will start at 16:48, so 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. Watchers get so many red flags that I end up finishing the stream at the normal time anyway. Carlos and Lando were quite the duo, says Red Rowan. Yeah, I seem to remember they did a Skypad once together, which was great fun. So, Sonic Boom is off for takeoff. Won't get results to land, so my prediction is Lando crashes out in P2. There you go. Have a safe flight, Sonic Boom, and hopefully catch you maybe tomorrow if you pop along. But yeah, not just steady on the wine. Can't be hungover tomorrow. It's an early start, so you have as much as you want, mate. Enjoy. Get the mandatory crowd shots out of the way now so we don't miss anything during the end of Q3. Oh, don't. Was it Silverstone 21 before the crash, that moment at Cops, where Hamilton and Verstappen were sort of side by side or fighting through Luffield, and it cut to the crowd, and I was like, I don't give a shit about the crowd. Show us the battle. Yeah, I can see Franco's frustration under his helmet. Yeah, he looked pretty dejected, didn't he? Ant Davis is looking at, here we go. So Ant Davis is saying, I don't know, hang on. Sorry for the dead air. I'm just trying to see what that's. It is a white light for Gasly, not a yellow. It absolutely is, yeah. So he is allowed to push at that point. So yeah, no, there's no yellow flag there. No, that's fair then. That's fair. I retract my previous statements about possible trouble. Yeah, bearing in mind we're reacting live, we don't have time to get the iPad, the Skypad out. But yeah. But yeah, that's how I end most sentences, by the way. Let's try to time it so it's the last one you see, says John T. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, I see. So the Alpine caused one to crash. Sean, if you see banners of Ralph Schumacher asking what your car is worth, an advertisement with him is being a meme right now, says Red. I have no idea what that means, but I'm intrigued. Right then. Here we go. Hey, Sujay. Hope you're well. Having a good weekend. We are go for Q2. Go for Q2. We're away. Brilliant. It's been a long session already. 48 minutes and we're only just going for this one. So let's keep it clean. Get some laps in. Find out who's through to Q3. Of course, 15 minutes for this session. 12 for the final session. And my obligatory annual, I still think this is the best quali session quali format we've ever had. Let's leave it alone. Statement. Yeah. I'm intrigued by this Ralph Schumacher advert thing. Is that like a We Buy Any Car thing? So you can go full chat past the white flag. Genuinely don't know what's the point of the flag then. So the white flag is just to warn there's a slow car. It's not you're not being, a yellow flag instructions to slow down. Double wave yellow, slow and be prepared to stop. Whereas the white flag is just be careful. There's a slower car ahead as Hadjar goes straight on at turn 4. He's okay though, just reversing out. So the white flag isn't actually an instruction to slow down. It's just a be careful, like a warning basically. So, yeah. But I guess maybe earlier in the session he's a bit more cautious there. But with him needing to get the lap in, clock's ticking down. It's the end of the session. He just has to get on with it. So, but Hadjar has rejoined. He's okay. Green flag, all sorted. Apparently Baku has a carpet museum. It's located at the near turn 16. There you go. Yeah, straight on at 4. Just nothing major there from Hadjar. Not like a big catastrophe. Nothing overly dramatic. Just straight on. See a lot of that. Maybe there's a wind into that corner. It is windy out there. Ralph Schumacher is Germany's Jacques Villeneuve at this point. Yeah, I know there is a clampdown globally, but also within the FIA of things that are being said that they don't like from certain people. So yeah, they're not keen on the should we say inflammatory or controversial or deliberately looking for a reaction kind of comments from your Villeneuves and your Ralf Schumachers. But in the defence of both those drivers, for they say a lot of stuff that you sort of go, oh, shut up. But actually, they do make some good points at times. Getting rid of wing mirrors is not one of them. I will stress that one. But yeah, no, it's yeah. Thank you, CJ. Appreciate that, mate. Where are the graphics? Says RC. There's a crash again. It's Bearman. Because it's going to be a red flag again. Bloody hell. Have they forgotten how to drive? It's ridiculous. That has to be red. He stopped on track. What do you mean by graphics? RC. What am I missing? Yeah, red flag. Solly Bearman. It's broken, he says. At right before turn 3. Is there another car there? Or is that, no, it's a red flag flashing. So yeah. There we go. Where are the graphics? RC needs to elaborate on that. I have no idea. Yeah, so that's the 4th red flag of the session in total today. First one of Q2. We had 3 in Q1, so it's it's all good fun. Is it me, or do I kind of miss when drivers will start on their Q2 tyres? I like the strategy, says Luke. It used to work really well. He says, just to confirm, he's just come out of turn 2 and just clouted the wall with his left rear, right rear, sorry. So that's what's happened to Bearman. So yeah, it used to work really well, but then it just became a point that the top drivers were just getting through anyway on sort of medium tires or whatever, and it sort of stopped working as a format or as a part of qualifying. So I enjoyed it. I think it was a good idea when it was first introduced, and I think it worked well for a while, but then the gap between the top teams in the midfield got so big that it just didn't really make a difference. So I think scrapping it was the right thing to do, but it's not something I'd be against seeing back, because then we had that thing where a driver would qualify 11th, but then they get a free choice of tyres, so it wasn't a total disaster. So yeah, I wouldn't be against seeing that back for sure. Will we see 4 safety cars on race day? Asked Bobby. Based on today, Bobby, we could see about 20 safety cars tomorrow. Although knowing our luck, it'll be a straightforward race tomorrow and everyone will be really well behaved. But they're getting it all out of the system now. But yeah. Sub notification graphic. Did you forget it? I didn't think we had one, did we? I did think. I think if you talk about this, the bit that flashed up with names on it, RC, that's something that's tied to Streamlabs, and it only notifies for certain people. I think there's a certain setting you've got to have switched on for public subs and stuff. So, yeah, if that's what you're talking about, mate, it's all controlled by Streamlabs, that one. So, is this a second quali? Says Ellie. Yes, it is. We've just got into second quali. Literally just started, and we've already got a red flag because Ollie Bearman's clouted the wall on the exit of turn. Clouted is a great word. On the exit of turn 2, just went in, back end out, bang. Kind of thing we see all the time. So, yeah. Just let the other half know that this is going to overrun. Apologies for the dead air. Also just sent a message to Jonty as well, because I like to, occasionally say things. 16:58, we're going against for 4 minutes. Hunger Games quali, who is out next to Sonic Boom. Yeah, Hunger Games quali, I like that. That could be fun. So I'll put the red flag away because we are about ready to go. Yeah, Will's going to have a very busy time of it with his comedy review, isn't he? Get ready for a 1-hour comedy review. Do you remember Chambers, Stewart's end of season reviews? They were like 2 hours long and just mental. Absolutely mental. Should let should have said something half an hour ago, really, shouldn't I? Yeah, gonna be a while. Although it might get me out of going to the in-laws, so few more red flags, lads. Few more red flags. It's all good. I don't know what Stuart's doing now. I haven't asked him lately. I think he was in a proper job. But yeah, I think he's still on socials. I think over on. I always forget what it's called. The alternative one. The people everyone ran away to after Twitter started going a bit weird. Blue Sky. Yeah, he's still over there. I think he posts quite a lot over there. So. No, I do, Kevin, but I've got this football on tonight and I can't be arsed. I just want to sit and watch football and have a drink and cry as we lose again. So, yeah. There's not a dislike there. I just can't be bothered. It's as simple as that. Crap argument. I'm fully aware of that. You know, make the effort, sure, for God's sake. But, you know. Stroll didn't get the chance to crash yet with all the red flags. Good point. Well, imagine if everyone crashes today apart from Lance Stroll. That'll shut a few people up for one weekend. I don't want to talk about it, Kevin. RC will tell you, and that'll do. Both Ferraris have only used one set of tyres in quali so far. Is that true? No. You lie. Oh, no, they have. Yeah, no, they put on a fresh set of softs and then they ran them 4 times in qualifying. Yeah, wow. They're all right for the race tomorrow then, aren't they? For sure. Let's see how they managed to mess that up. Hello, sir. Nice to meet you. My favourite team is Mercedes. Hey, Francis. Hope you're well. Thank you for popping along. Good to meet you too. Yeah, Mercedes. Mercedes aren't my favourite team, but they have the best merch, so that's why I'm wearing this. So if you sort of like lots of Ferraris, I'm a Ferrari fan. My driver's Max Verstappen, but I'm wearing Mercedes gear. It might get a bit confusing, but it's just because I really like their merch this year. I think it's the Adidas stripes, but yeah. Salah is Red Bull. Red Bull for Salah. There you go. Yeah. They've changed. I mean, okay, obviously they've changed. It's Christian Horner left, but they seem more. And maybe that's the point. Maybe that's why the change is made. I might be misreading things, but it's. They feel more of an engineering focused team now rather than a Drive to Survive focused team. We are green again for Q2, by the way. If you follow what I mean, they seem a little bit more sane. That's good one for Red River. Says sane. Red Bull seems to be more sane. There you go. Bobby's an Alonso fan for life. He still has the fire. He does. I think if you give Alonso the car to do so, he'll win the championship. And I kind of feel like he's not going to retire until he gets his 3rd anyway. I think he's pretty determined to get that. But yeah, still racing into his 80s. You watch. He'll keep going. I think Lewis Hamilton said this week, didn't he, that he's got no intention of stopping anytime soon either. So, a lot of young drivers coming through, a lot of focus on the future, but the no offense intended, but the old dogs have still got it, haven't they? Definitely. They certainly think so in the crowd there with their LH44 banner. Lots of good banners about, actually, to be fair. Less focus on PR. Yeah, a bit more about the car, because I think that's helped Yuki Tsunoda a little bit as well. Just with the car being not more built towards him, but just maybe he's getting a little bit more input from the engineering side now. But I think probably helped by the fact that Verstappen isn't in a title fight, so they can sort of work across the team a bit more. I don't know. If you want a team that makes you cry, follow the New York Mets, says 7-string bassist. Oh, God. Is it bad? Is it that bad? Sunset is only 1 hour, 40 minutes away in Baku. Yeah, we should have half of Q2 done by then, Jonty, so it should be all right. Qualified tomorrow morning. There you go. All sorted. Q3 tomorrow morning. One final shootout. I feel like that's happened before. We've had Q1 on a Saturday, then had 2 and 3 on. I think it was Japan one year with a tsunami, wasn't there? Not a tsunami. A typhoon. Off goes Charles Leclerc, a typhoon, I meant to say, not tsunami. I was thinking of two things at once there. So Leclerc has lost, will lose his lap anyway, but what's the point in finishing it? You've already been off track. But did he compromise Hamilton there? So Leclerc's going to go straight on. We know that. Oh, yeah, just got lost on the entry and then bailed out, which was the right thing to do. That'll then bring out a yellow flag. Yeah, that will have compromised Lewis Hamilton. So that's the danger, particularly on a street track, of sending out your two drivers together. If it's a yellow flag, you compromise your other driver. So, hey, Anila says, my favourite team is Ferrari. Good choice. Although it's painful. It's a good choice, but it's painful. Being a Ferrari fan. Very difficult, but looking good this weekend. So, famous last words on that one. But Hadjar purple, but I think he is the first to set a competitive. Oh, Lawson did, and Bortoletto, but yeah, these are the first laps for people. So it's Q2. We are in Q2. Yeah. Yeah, basically RC. I should probably change allegiance on both fronts, but you can't do it. You can't do it. People said to me before, you can change your football club, you know. It's like you can't. You just can't. Well, if you want to, you can try, but it's just no. So Sainz purple in the middle sector might be one of the first to get a lap in, and that might be why. Bortoletto is going to be the absolute first and does a 1:43.2. I'm now slightly behind on that one, which is really annoying. So I'm going to change that back to 10,500. Let's try that one. Perfect. Look at that. Sainz goes fastest 41.6. Hadjar 41.9. Hamilton a 2:03.4, but he lost that lap because of Leclerc going off course. 1:41.8 for Lawson, who goes P2. Piastri purple in the first sector. He is on the soft. I'll go through the tyres in a second. Stroll goes fourth, 43.0. Piastri charging to the line. He's going to get a really nice toe off somebody here, which is going to help him. Who is that ahead of him on the track? It's Alonso. Alonso goes sixth. Piastri goes fastest by 0.3 of a second over Carlos Sainz. Tyres-wise, Norris is going to be next to the line. We'll just see him over. Oh, it's Piastri, sorry, to the line first. Second, so I was reading, no, look at the Ron McLaren. Just call me Crofty. There goes Piastri, goes P2. So it's Norris, 2 tenths quicker than Piastri. We've got a Ferrari who's just been off track, I think. For Leclerc, he's still going though. But yeah, medium tyres for Russell, Sainz, Alonso, Verstappen, Leclerc, Antonelli, Tsunoda, and Bearman's out, isn't he? So yeah, interesting that medium tyres seems to be the way that people are going here. Let's see if we replay what happens to Leclerc. I assume he's gone straight on at turn 3 and reversed out, but definitely needs to stop down there. Oh, Hamilton really sideways out of turn 16 there as he hits the long run all the way to the start-finish line. This is crazy. Did we see? I think we saw speeds in excess of 220 miles an hour this morning at one point, didn't we, in practice? So Verstappen's 4 seconds quicker than Alonso, which is the time he needs to get through, but Alonso's is a 1:50.5. So not a great lap there from Fernando. Maybe a second preparation. Hamilton only 8th on a set of softs. The medium seems to be a really good qualifying tyre here. Really good qualifying tyre. And given the amount we're getting through, are we thinking hards and softs tomorrow for the race maybe? But I'd be surprised. I can't wait for Pirelli to put their strategies out tomorrow, by the way. Really looking forward to that, because they've once again bought softer compounds this weekend because they want to promote 2-stoppers or multi-stop races. So I can't wait for their first option to be a 1-stopper. Because these cars look just perfectly fine on these tyres. Yeah, it's last year's soft, yeah. So we've gone a step softer, haven't we? The 4, 5, 6 this year. Here goes Verstappen. Going to get his lap in. I think, yeah, all good. And it's only half a tenth off, actually. Lando Norris, that's on the medium tyre. So is the soft too soft? Is, I guess, my question. Piastri's going to hit the wall, isn't he, at turn 15? He does indeed. Quite a wallop, actually, but was it pretty much face on? Well, not quite. Yeah, more or less. A bit of a time. Would look worse from the other angle, but yeah. Here's what Leclerc did. So he's gonna. I think he's gonna go straight on, surely. Yeah, straight on. So that's what I thought he had, but yeah. They need to just delete the C5, C3, and C1 from the range. Just says John T. Yeah. Yeah. Say spice up weekends, wouldn't it? It would, yeah. I just try to think how that would work at some of like more demanding tracks, but you've still got harder options there, haven't you? So it's up to the teams to manage them, I suppose. Yeah. What happened to Crofty this weekend? Says Takiru. It's one of his. I think he has. Does he have 3 weekends off a year? I think so. He's just having his weekend off, and we've got Harry Benjamin for the 3. I assume the idea here is they're lining Harry Benjamin up to be Crofty's replacement when he decides to call it a day, which I imagine is quite a few years away yet. But yeah, does a good job, does Harry. Kevin's expecting the race to be a crash fest. But Leclerc, yeah, we just he hasn't got a time yet. So he did pit after he made that mistake, curiously. I don't want to. This just reeks of a classic Ferrari weekend where they're competitive in practice, they're competitive in the first part of quali. You just start to dream, and then they crap the bed. How many crashes have there been? So we had 3 red flags in Q1. We've had 1 so far in Q2, so that's 4. Sainz, Albon, Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Bearman. So this has actually been it feels like it's been the longest stretch without a red flag so far in qualifying. So things are looking good. And just because it's been an hour and a half and we're still Q2, it's been a while. Like I said, we seem to be on a run here, so I probably just jinxed everything. Hamilton improving the middle sector, by the way, he didn't in the first. So let's see. Well, I just realised same issue with your name. For turn 4, a massive off into Briatore sounds. Yeah. Yeah, especially. I'm sorry. He doesn't improve. Hamilton's in trouble here. He's 10th. I was just going to make the point that also, if you go into turn 4, you're going deep into Briatore. That sounds even worse. Red Ravens. So, yeah. How very inappropriate. I apologise. It's I have a filthy mind. I'm sorry. Here goes Leclerc. He is purple in the middle set. So Hamilton didn't improve his time here on the soft. So the medium seems to be the tyre, doesn't it? Everyone seems to be moving to the mediums now. So actually now Tsunoda's through. Hamilton in the drop zone. Can Hamilton get round again? He's got a minute and a half to get from turn 3. Leclerc goes 4th fastest. Hamilton down to 12th. He had 2 minutes, I think. And we've got a yellow flag out there as well, which is Lance Stroll. Looks like he's been straight on at turn 1, but he's got going again. Oh, Leclerc again, just touching the wall there. Oh, he did indeed, yeah. Bit of a kiss. That was a good one. Hamilton should have had about 2 minutes left, but that's not a lot of time to get your tyres in the right window and get everything charged up, is it? So he might be in trouble, but he might just get round again. Very on brand for both this channel and Briatore. That's precisely what we are here for. So all good, says Red Raven. Yeah. Pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Piastri goes second. 200s pretty much between the two. McLaren's out at the front. Tsunoda's out, by the way, at the moment, and I think he's not going to get round, as he is at turn 4 and 25 seconds. So I think Tsunoda is out. Hamilton has got 20 seconds to get from turn 17. He should be okay. Antonelli starts his lap. Bortoleto will complete this lap. Only 13th, but he does move up a place. Hadjar was 10th. Is now 7th, so he's going to sneak through. 41.9 is the cut-off, which, funnily enough, is where Tsunoda is. 41.9, that is a checker flag. Hamilton hasn't got to the line. Hamilton is out. He's out. I guess fuel as well. If they've only fueled for one run or 2 runs and he's done the 2, I don't know. But Lewis Hamilton, who has been pretty strong all weekend, is out of qualifying. I appreciate Hamilton's been knocked out of qualifying a few times this year, but that's still a surprise based on the form this weekend. He looked good, he looked comfortable, but it's not clicking. Verstappen's gone purple. The checker flag is out, but we've got a few people completing laps. So Leclerc's in the pit, Stroll in the pit, Tsunoda then. Tsunoda did get another run in, so can he sneak through? Oh, he does, just 10th place for Tsunoda. Is anybody else on the lap apart from Verstappen? I don't think they are. Yuki Tsunoda has snuck through, and Verstappen's gone fastest by 1.5 tenths. The medium tyre is the qualifying tyre here, isn't it? Clearly. The soft is not staying on for a full lap. Hamilton out. Alonso pipped at the post there by Tsunoda by 0.07 of a second. So he's out. So 11th for Alonso, 12th Hamilton, 13th Bortoleto, 14th Stroll, and of course Ollie Bearman 15th, having hit the wall at turn 2 and retiring. So Hamilton out. Like I say, good weekend up to this point, and it's sort of all fallen apart. So I'd like to see his final run there, but maybe the soft tyre. I mean, only 3 drivers in the end were on the softs at the end of that session, so the medium clearly the tyre to be on. It's Verstappen in the mix now. Russell not far away either, which is not surprising really. I mean, it's cooler for Mercedes today, so that might help, but also he's always seems to be in there or thereabouts, doesn't he? Couldn't put in this time, says Bortoleto. No worries, mate. I mean, look, Bortoleto from his personal perspective has out-qualified Hulkenberg, so it's still a good session for him, but given the high bar that Sauber have set over the last few races, or certainly since Spain, maybe that's a bit disappointing, but he's still beaten his teammates, so that's a big win, isn't it? So, for him. But, yeah. Interested. I'll just have a look at the chat, just see what's people are saying. A few people surprised to see Hamilton out. Like I say, the pace was there, wasn't it? So it's sort of surprising. Like again, we've seen him get knocked out in Q2 several times this year. I think he's had a Q3 exit or 2, hasn't he, as well? So it's not a shock that he's been there, but based on his form this weekend, it is a surprise. So Leclerc up in 6th, but Ferrari, where's Ferrari's pace gone? Is this a case of... I had a quick in Q1 though, weren't they? But do they have to turn things down for the rest of the weekend after practice? Is it still compromising setup because of China, which seems ludicrous because that was like the second race, or it was the second race of the season. We're now in the 17th. Has that not been sorted yet? I mean, yeah. Rocket Raccoon says, morning, Sean, Johnson in chat. I hope everyone's doing well. I've been here. I was just driving lol. Hopefully Lewis can get in. And then it says, spoke too soon. There you go. Hope you're having a good one, mate. And just generally having a good weekend. Maybe not in F1 anymore now that Hamilton's out, but yeah. Not bad from Bortoleto, points possible from there. I think you've got to look at the bigger picture, haven't you? That actually, yeah, he's out-qualified his teammate, and as you say, from 13th, any drama ahead, he's there to sort of pick up the pieces. He's 4 minutes till the next session starts, by the way. Potentially, Hamilton got the tyres in the right window for the first lap, then had to back off and cause Leclerc to spin. Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Yeah, good point, actually, Frank. I forgot about the situation, because he was on a lap. He was going for a lap, wasn't he, when Leclerc went off, had the yellow flags, had to abort, and then maybe his tyres were in the right window then, and that was it. So, yeah, that's a very good point. That could be a factor. We might get there might be a interview with him in the pen that we might catch before we finish the live stream that could confirm that, but that's a very fair point. Bobby also says all other teams are bagging their pace. It's Ferrari. Why on earth are you even asking anymore? You have been doing this for 8 years now, mate. This is Red Raven. Fair enough. They're just too slow to react, says John T. Ferrari had 8 minutes to realise that the media's a better tyre, so just ignore the very, very obvious facts in front of them. Yeah, about right. Yeah. Lance Stroll. We're going to watch him go straight on at turn 1 here, I think. It's going to be very exciting. Oh, he left that late to decide, didn't he? That was, yeah, that wasn't totally clean. He was waiting for people to get through there. That's why he sat waiting. He said, what was that? It was a crazy tailwind, apparently, according to his engineer. So it's a tailwind. So the east is... Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, cool. Good to know. How long till Q3? Where are we? 80, so 3 minutes. 3 minutes, Callie, not long. Ferrari is still checking. Ferrari should stop checking and realise they are. Checkmate. Ooh, nice one. It's a nervous laughter, like, oh god, yeah, he's right. You can count me my pit stop. I'm just gonna get a quick glug of juice. If you wonder why I had to go off camera, if you knew, it's because I've got a tendency to just dribble it down myself, so because I rush. So I'm gonna go have a quick drink. Back in 15 seconds, then we'll be ready to go for Q3. All done. PC says, when will Miami become a night race? I'd like Miami to be a night race. I think that'd be great fun. We're still 14 likes away from 100, by the way. So if anyone hasn't dropped a like, please do. Really helps in the algorithm and all that business. So yeah, please do drop a like. 14 away. Like I said, I like to get to 100 and then I stop asking generally. So I might mention it again at the end. But yeah, please do drop a like. Did I say drop a like? 4 times I think I said that. Yeah. I wish we could get some Ricciardo S moves tomorrow in the first corner. Yeah, I like the thank you, Noob Nota. Appreciate that. I think we will see moves tomorrow, because now I'm sort of looking at 11th down to 20th. We've got some cars in there that are going to be quite racy. Hamilton, you would argue, based on the pace so far this weekend, is out of position, so he's got to come back through. So I think we will see moves tomorrow, and it's quite strange, Baku. It is possible to overtake here, even though it's a street track, but it's not easy. Your best spots, I mean, turn 1 and the run 2, turn 1 are easily the way to go, aren't they? I mean, turn 2 and 3, ask Kimi Räikkönen and Esteban Ocon how they go, so they can go either way. But one thing to watch for tomorrow, and I know it's kind of the case in F1 anyway, but it's quite often in Baku that a safety car will then lead to another safety car and then another safety car, because the field keeps getting bunched up. So but as I said in the preview, there doesn't ever seem to be a middle ground with Baku. It's either really, really dull and nothing happens, or it's pure chaos. I may be misremembering, but I remember the first one in 2016 was really a bit cack. 2017, the first one I covered on the channel, was absolutely bloody mental, and then it's sort of been a bit like that every year since, back and forth. So hopefully it'll all be good. Q3 is about to start. We're nearly there. In fact, Q3 has now started. We are go for Q3, so good and ready to go. There's a McLaren sat there, so they've sent out Piastri after Norris, so maybe they are going to is it his turn for the potential toe if he wants it? Maybe irrelevant anyway, because Antonelli's just cut in front of them. So, or was it Russell? It is a Mercedes, that's for sure. Chaos is by its nature entertaining, but because of it, that Baku gets an incorrect rating. It's never had an actually good race. Yeah, it's that debate again we've had many times, isn't it, John T? You know, people say, oh, it was a great race. You sort of think, was it a great race or was it just chaotic? Because I think the two are different. It was an entertaining event or an entertaining Sunday or whatever, but chaos and racing to me are not one and the same. Thank you, Notorious Asher. Appreciate that. I do like their merch. As I said a few times today, I think it's the Adidas stripes. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I do like this T-shirt. So yeah, I've got a few others that I've got a Haas one up there, a Ferrari one somewhere, a Max Verstappen one somewhere. But I keep putting this one on. So maybe I'm a closet Russell fan. Maybe. I thought you changed your tag, Rocket Raccoon. I thought you had. Rain in turn 1, question mark, says Dennis. I've not seen very light rain according to Bernie Collins. So it's the sort of thing, isn't it? Is it a bit of light rain at those speeds looks like a lot more, doesn't it, help? So it might just cut people's confidence a little bit, but I guess you got to trust your engineer and your tyres and your car, haven't you? Which doesn't work if you're a Ferrari driver. Looking at celebrities again. To be fair though, I mean, look, when they're on outlaps, we can look at all the celebrities and crowd that you want, but when we're actually got qualified to watch, let's go, because here goes Liam Lawson. There is a spot's afraid of the camera lens, you know, up at towards turn 16, so maybe these laps could be important. Or, I mean, every lap in qualify is important, but you know my point. Get it in quickly. So those who haven't come out yet might want to get out there pretty swiftly. There's quite a few still sat in the garage, actually. Verstappen's in there. He's just coming out now. Yeah. Get out there quickly, I would say. Just get a banker lap in. Sparks are flying from the back of Norris. He goes into turn 1. Nicely through there. Really push it on the exit, don't they? It's the fact that wall sort of sticks out as well a bit. Doesn't juts out a bit. So, time on the table there for Norris, by the way. On the exit of 2. I'm hearing things. I don't know why. There was a knock at the door, but there wasn't. So, yeah. So I got a yellow flag out there. It's George Russell, and I think Russell stopped. Oh no, he's down at turn 4, and we nearly had Norris in the wall, but that's compromised Norris's lap because that was definitely a double wave yellow, and he's backed out of it. Surely, yeah, he has indeed. That was a double wave yellow down there. So bad news for Norris, but Russell went straight on. I thought Russell nearly Norris ended up in the wall there, but yeah, Russell straight on at Briatore Boulevard. I'll try and remember to call it that. Sainz, purple and purple. Obviously, first we're going to get a lap in. Lawson as well. Lawson will be first, then Sainz. It's definitely too slippery now. Russell went straight. It's raining, says Verstappen. Now then. Oh, definitely too slippery. This is interesting. So actually, Lawson's gone fastest. Sainz is going to be taking that from him. Then Piastri's going to get his lap in. This is it. You've got to get your lap in now, because if what Verstappen's saying is right, Piastri's pushing. He's going to touch that wall. Oh, that was so close on the exit. Needs to get 16 right, does Oscar. I'd leave a little bit of time on the table and just get the lap in, and he does indeed. There's more there. There are yellow flags. We've got Leclerc in the wall or straight on. Will he be allowed? Leclerc's in the wall. Is Piastri going to be allowed this lap? Because if he isn't, we could be set for quite a mixed up grid here if that rain does fall. Leclerc's in the wall. Oh, I am stupid. Every year, bless him. He'll never get over it, will he? So Piastri didn't get his lap in. Was it rain? It looks like he's just got... no, that's just a mistake, isn't it? So we have a red flag, which... I think we have had more red flags than drivers today, so there you go. Leclerc is out. That's going to put him P9 at best, because that's where he is at the moment, but I imagine P10 once Tsunoda goes out. Yeah, Karun making a point I was just going to make. If you are a Williams, if you're Williams, you need to be on social media getting your fans to do a rain dance. Same with Racing Bulls, because if that ends there with rain, your grid is Sainz, Lawson, Hadjar, Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, Russell, Antonelli, Leclerc, and Tsunoda. Because it'll all be done on sector times, I assume, then, unless they go back to the last session, but I can't imagine it. It's wow. I just despair. But I also just get to the point where, you know, as a Ferrari fan in Mercedes gear, but as a Ferrari fan, I'm just desensitized to it. It just doesn't matter anymore. It's like, oh yeah, of course. You sort of see that your top of practice session will look really competitive, and everyone goes, oh, this is Ferrari's weekend, and I'm like, oh, you must be new. You must be new to Formula One. If you think this is going to be, yeah, if anyone's going to screw this up, it's going to be Ferrari, and they have well and truly screwed it up. Although I would say Hamilton, based on what we've discussed in chat, partly on the team for not reacting quickly enough to the medium tyre, partly on him for not being quick enough, because that's reality, and that one's on Leclerc by the look of it. So Track is so slippery. The white lines are ice, says Antonelli. So if it is, I mean, look, we might be getting a bit excited over nothing here. But if we get any kind of downpour, a la sprint qualifying Sao Paulo a few years ago when Kevin Magnussen ended up on pole, we might get a surprise here. The shame is that Tsunoda and maybe one of the Mercedes didn't get a lap in as well, because then we'd have the championship contenders push for even further back. But you can start dancing if it rains a bit harder. No, says Carlos Sainz, so he's already on it. So Williams fans everywhere doing a rain dance. I mean, people are getting their ponchos on and their jackets, and they look very fetching as well, may I add. But I don't look, I mean, look, I'm not there, but looking at the rain that's being shown on the camera, it doesn't look like it's going to be hard enough to prevent people getting laps in or improving, but they're going to have to be very careful on the white lines. The problem is, now that Ferrari is my red flag, that banner now makes sense. There you go. Second time I've seen it today. Now I get it. But yeah, the white lines are everywhere, aren't they? In Baku, it's a street track. So, in Murray Walker's voice, that's Williams from Minardi, from Stewart, from McLaren, from Tyrrell. Yeah. Oh, the good old days. Oh, the good old days. Rose-tinted spectacles and all of that. Although I think just as an aside, I was sort of on topic, but not really. But I mean, and look, I think we talk about rose-tinted spectacles and like, oh, the good old days. But I think there are things from the old days that were better than they are now. That's not right. I think that's not all rose-tinted spectacles. For example, the noise of a V10 is infinitely better than what the noise these make. So, you know, there you go. But yeah. What happened to Lec? Yeah, he's hit the wall at turn 15. So he's in the wall at turn 15 out of qualifying. Colapinto was in the wall at turn 4, or as we're calling it now, Briatore Boulevard. So he's been off there. Hulkenberg hit the wall there. Albon hit turn 1. Bearman hit turn 2. So we've lost 5 drivers. Hulkenberg didn't really count, did he? Hulkenberg didn't really count because he did get going again, but red flag infringement noted for Antonelli, who just seems to be doing everything he can to fall out with the stewards this weekend. It's the left front that's locked up on the turn in there, and he's just... Oh, it looks like such a clumsy mistake, but it's that little lock up on the left front, and he's just bang. Oh, Charles. Yeah, it still counts the crash, but he got going. So are we on 5 out of 6? Who was it that made the 6th prediction? I can't remember now. That was a week ago, wasn't it? That's like feels like in this session. So yeah, it does look a bit drizzly. It's a word. It is drizzling, apparently, according to Kravitz, Ted Kravitz. Warren can't remember the last time we had so many pieces of poor driving. It was probably Baku one year. It's a good question from Warren. Go on then, chap. Have a think back. Let's answer Warren's question or point. When was the last time we had this many examples of either poor driving or red flags in a qualifying session? Trying to think. I just can't think what... It is Baku. Baku's one that we do tend to get some chaos in, but try to think if there's like a session. Miami, do you have surface problems in Miami in its first year that might have been a bit chaotic? But in terms of bad driving, I'm not really sure. So the red flag infringement for Antonelli. Yeah, it goes red and then he goes back round again. Says I was too late, I couldn't come in. So because he'd... That's a tricky one. Because he couldn't cross the line to come into the pits at that point because he would have been in wrong anyway. But then he's continued round, which he probably shouldn't have done either. So that they might let him off that one. You've got to be, as Harry Benjamin's explaining, there's like a dotted or perforated, dotted, whatever, line that you need to be the left side of if you're going to come in the pits. So they might let him off that one. But yeah. Yeah, there was the... Good shout from PC, isn't he? Choked myself to death. Yeah, the potholes in Vegas was one. That's a good shout. Would have been dangerous if he tried it. Yeah, I think not only would it have been dangerous, Jamie, because he passed the dotted white line, he would have been crossing the pit entry line to come in. In fact, they've reviewed it. No further investigation. So there we go. That's been sorted. So that's fair. That's fair. Spaced says this quali is a shit show. I mean, look, quali's an hour and we've been going for an hour and a half and we've still got 7 minutes in Q3, which is still enough time for what? 15 drivers to crash, and there's only 10 out there, in fact 9 out there, so that's going to be a feat, isn't it? But yeah, plenty of time for action and incidents yet. Bearing in mind at this point as well, this is the stage of the weekend where they're pushing it the hardest, so this is where the big mistakes are going to come again. I've already seen some pretty massive ones, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We may still be here on Monday, but you know me, I stay alive. Yeah, not a penalty, not at all a penalty. It can't be. And they have reviewed it and said no investigation anyway. So, but yeah, sort of, like I say, he was caught between a rock and a hard place there. If he tried to get to the dotted line, that might have been seen as dangerous. He went past it anyway. If he crosses the solid line, he gets a penalty. If he goes straight on, he may get a penalty, but the stewards have given him the benefit of the doubt there, which is the right thing to do. So, yeah. Williams' last pole was the 2014 Austrian Grand Prix, says Nilesh, and that was 4,109 days ago. Carlos Sainz is what... Dance, everybody dance for the rain. Yeah, you can see the focus, can't you, in the... Yeah, in his eyes. Yeah, anyway. It says 65% chance of rain in Baku tomorrow, says Kevin. It's been really weird, actually, this week, because as we watched some marshals having a dance there, why not? They are trying to get a rain dance going for Carlos Sainz, aren't they? There you go. I was just going to say, it's been quite weird this week, because Tuesday, when I wrote the script for the preview, it wasn't Tuesday, it was Monday, there was no chance of rain. 0. Wednesday, when I finished the script and then recorded the audio for the preview, there was like a real minimal chance of rain. And then by the time the preview went out, it was up at like 40%. And then as the weekend's gone, it's just got higher and higher. So I guess that's how forecasts work over time, isn't it? But the weather changes. But it's really annoying when you do a preview and you're like, no chance of rain this weekend. And then it's like chucking it down or whatever. But there you go. I mean, it's still drizzling. There's still pots of rain and spots of rain on the camera lens. So... I bet Piastri's annoyed. I know it's not anybody's fault. You know, the red flag comes out when the red flag comes out, but he wasn't far from the line, was he? It was just coming through 20, I think, when the red flag came out. So, no, just before 19 maybe, but these things happen. Second time it's caught him today. The gods are trying to spite your previous shot. It's all they do. It's all the gods do, Jamie. They look at me and go, how can I shaft you one more time? And that maybe... depending on what you think of the word shaft, maybe it might be something different where you are, so I apologise. It's a bit like, and I said this to a partner the other day, it's a bit like when I say on stream about nutting someone, and everyone's like, that obviously means different in the UK. It does mean different in the UK, so I get it, all right? Nutting is a headbutt. It's not what a lot of you are going to be like, what? Anyway, this is the beauty of red flag. Sean talks nonsense, which is quite funny, really, given that even in green flags I talk nonsense, so... more nonsense. Total nonsense. Why not? 17:37. So 4 minutes from now, we're going to get going again. So, yes. Well, yeah. Well, times are changing. When I was a kid... and growing up, and even till recently, that's what that meant. But I appreciate that language evolves, and maybe it's seen as something different now these days. Yeah, that's why your testing day live streams are very popular. Yeah, for you lot, you get to watch me sort of start off really fresh and ready to go, and then just slowly over 3 days of streaming fall apart. It's fun for you. Yeah, I know, RC. Lewis Hamilton's chatting to Sky. Yesterday the car was feeling good. So he said that they've gone in a direction that hasn't worked, basically. So he's saying the pace is good and they've had the progress there, but yeah, it sounds like it's just struggling. Go to the group chat. Sometimes they put little snippets in there for me to steal, but... Elizabeth says this session officially joins Sao Paulo 2024 and Imola 2022 with 5 red flags. There you go. A couple of people in the chat saying it's poor execution from Ferrari. Agreeing with a couple of you in the live chat with regards to the tyres. So he wanted to go to the mediums, but the team said the warm-up was too long. So yeah, it sounds like what I was saying earlier, that there's an element of the team haven't reacted to put the right tyre on, even though he's told them to. Once again, not listening to their driver, and the car just not being in the window he needed it to be in. So it looks like it's a mix of a couple of things for Hamilton there, whereas Leclerc's just stuffed it in the wall. Leclerc's is a little easier to analyse. He's just stuck it in the wall. We are a minute away, less than, before we get going. They've had the start time so they can go. Let's see. A lot of people will be straight out on soft side, I imagine. Mainly because they might have run out of mediums, frankly. But yeah, I'll try to see if it's still raining or drizzling. The 2 McLarens on softs. The 2 Mercedes again cutting in front of Piastri there. There's still spots of rain, so yeah. Daniel L says it's funny, right? Car was awesome. Okay, we change it for tomorrow. Just Ferrari things, isn't it? It's just very strange. Is the C6 a better wet tyre? Good point from Nick. That it'll be stickier, won't it? So it might be grippier and a bit easier to drive in. Not damp conditions, but greasy conditions. So that's a good shout. It looks like it's still drizzling out there, but I'm not sure 100% if it's raining heavily enough to be concerned. But yeah, good point on the soft tyre maybe been the way to go as we are go for the final part of Q3. What is this, like Q8 now or something like that? Q9, Q10. It feels like we are going for the final, hopefully the final part of Q3. I have a sneaky suspicion there might be another twist in this yet. That's like Spurs sacking Marino for a cup final, says RC. Yeah. Well, I'm not a Tottenham fan, obviously, but I do wonder if that was a financial decision. It was a few years ago now. If he wins the cup final, which he probably would have done because you know what he's like, does he get a massive bonus? You know, just saying. Mid part of Q3, that'll do, Mark. I like that. Yeah, half time in Q3. We've just had half time. They've had their tea and oranges. It's all good. Is he back at Benfica now? Oh, I'd take Jose back. I miss Jose. I think he's crackers, but who cares? We are green, by the way. I've still got the red flag on for some reason. There we go. Yeah, Lando, then Piastri on track, but Piastri isn't going to get a tow from him, so because he's dropped back. I think we're ready here. If I had to bet, I would say Lawson or Norris, and that's an answer to John T. What was the question for John T? Place your bets. Who's in the wall next? Surely Carlos Sainz, if he's got any sense. Do that. Nico Rosberg's lock up in Monaco, or Michael Schumacher's. Oh no, I couldn't get around Raskas. Maybe try one of them. If that happens now, I'm joking. It wouldn't. I'm not saying it would have been deliberate. Verstappen's still on the mediums, by the way, and it's a used set of mediums, so that's an interesting choice. Interested in why they've gone the used mediums on Verstappen's car. I was waiting for his safety tyres, but I'm guessing just just putting heat cycles through them help in qualifying as much as it would in a race, maybe, or he's just happy on that tyre. Why change it? But surprised it's not at least a new set. I suppose he's got to save some for tomorrow as well, though, hasn't he? So, but the medium has been a cracking qualifying tyre today. But this will be, I can't see with 4.5 minutes left that Verstappen's got time to get in the pits, put some softs on and go again. So I guess it depends how many laps has done on those tyres. Hang on, I'll tell you in a sec. I mean, it's done 3 laps. That's nothing on a medium tyre, is it really? So, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking he might be keeping he might have a fresh set of mediums and keep those for the race, Red Raven, with a set of the hards. because I suspect it's going to be a hard, medium, hard race tomorrow. So, I mean, last year only 2 drivers tried the soft tyres, and that was one was to go for a fastest lap, and one was because, you know, why not? And I think the maximum laps done were 2. So Norris is purping the first sector considerably quicker than anybody, including Max Verstappen through there. So it's looking like McLaren versus McLaren. We've got Piastri in the wall, I think, or off track. Is he off or in the wall? He's in the wall. Piastri's in the wall. We've got another red flag. Oh, dearie me. What is wrong with them all? Are they drunk? What? Never drink and drive. What on earth is going on out there? Piastri, it's a big one as well at turn 3, just before Briatore Boulevard. Wow. At best, he's going to be 6th then, but surely you're looking at Piastri 8th and Leclerc... Piastri 9th and Leclerc 10th, assuming we actually get any more bloody laps in. We've got 3 minutes and 40 to go. It's going to be 1 run for everybody now, and we could still get a red flag on that run. Oh, way too hot in there, Oscar. Way too hot. That's my expert analysis. He should... I feel like... Look. I'm sat here in my office watching this in my comfy chair, but I feel like he should have bailed out of that. I think he was going in way too hot. I think he was. He's in the wall. He was going too hot, but that, even on board, that looked like an obvious bail out there, but... Oh, dear. Yeah, good point. No major risk to the gearbox or engine. Although you can take gearboxes without penalties now, I think, can't you? So, unless that changes in the race because you break part firm. So, yeah, big shunt there for Piastri. No points today, of course, so not a complete disaster. Still time for him to turn that around tomorrow into some points, but it does give advantage to his teammate, who crashed earlier in the weekend, of course. So, yeah. If Norris can get pole here and go and control the race tomorrow, that's a big boost for him. But, you know, you still fancy in that car, even around a track like Baku, if Piastri started 9th or 10th, you still fancy him to get through to a top 4 place, if not the podium, wouldn't you? So, what a session, though. We're now waiting for the next part of qualifying to get going. Sainz didn't come out, by the way. He came out and then came in for a fresh set of tyres. So Carlos Sainz here, he's got the cursing eyes out again. He's doing it. Yes, who's next? Lando in the wall. He needs it without a minute to go, doesn't he, really? So no one goes out again, but yeah. Hey, Nijat, I hope you're well. Bruce says poor mechanics. Yeah, a long night for them. Hey, Ash, hope you're having a good one, mate. I don't think you go to the in-laws, mate. No. Oh, that's I'm supposed to be leaving at 3. Oh, God. Come on, red flags. The Azerbaijan demolition derby said a Grand Prix, says PC. It feels like it, doesn't it? I just don't understand what... It just feels like... Yeah. And apparently that's officially a qualifying record for red flags, says John T. 6. At least 6. Likely a lengthy delay, apparently, because it moved the Tech Pro, so... Yeah. Immediately with clickbait. Anyway. What's your in-laws number? Shut up. Shut up, Kevin. Go away. Stop causing trouble. Go and enjoy your Constructors' Championship. Aaron says what happened. Piastri's in the wall at turn 3. Went in way too hard, I think. Am I being harsh, chat, in saying that I feel like it should have been? And it's obviously easy with hindsight, but even on board there, it felt like that was time to bail out. He seemed to be very hot into that corner, straight into the wall, and he's damaged the car. But also, the Tech Pro moved quite a bit, so that might be quite a long delay. Verstappen's been noted for red flag infringement. Hope we get a replay of that one soon. Verstappen for pole. Norris won't beat him, says JJ Lawn. Give whomever made the 6th red flag prediction a gold medal. Yes. Who was that? Oh, not quite. If it's 7, they were wrong because they didn't say at least 6. Yeah. So let's have a look. So when's the red flag come out? It does come out. Oh. similar to Antonelli. I think Verstappen had a little bit more time, but I still think that would have been dangerous. So he might be okay there. They might do the same. It's very similar. I think Antonelli was a little bit further down the road, but it wasn't by much. So I think Max should be okay there. They're currently 6th. Track is clear, but now the yellow flags are back out because they're going to have to sort the barrier out. So, yeah. Has anyone got any plans for Christmas? You might want to shuffle them back. Don't forget there's still a race. At least in a race, there's a time limit on that, an absolute maximum, I suppose. So that's something. Can't be any more than 2 hours in a 3-hour window. So he was close to finishing the lap. Yeah, that happened to Piastri was it earlier in the session or the last session or Thursday afternoon, whenever it was. But yeah. I mean, yeah, but I if this is qualifying, what, like Carl says, what are we in for tomorrow? Red Ravens are supposed to start cleaning about 30 minutes ago. Don't worry. Leave that. This is way more exciting. I have no idea what is going on today. If you are just tuning in, by the way, people do drop in and out all the time. We've had 6 red flags today so far. 3. Let's see if I can recite them all. So, Albon, Hulkenberg, and Colapinto in Q1, Bearman in Q2, Leclerc and Piastri in Q3. Yes. And the only one of those that got going again was Nico Hulkenberg, but he still got knocked out in Q1. So, yeah. Yeah. I don't know what to say. Welcome everybody to the 24 hours of Baku qualifying. Yeah, the rain's coming down harder here. I would argue. Look at that camera angle. It couldn't happen, could it? It couldn't, could it? Oh, no. Qualifying looks like an F2 race. Yeah. Tomorrow's gonna be a time race. Probably says John C. Yeah, I hope so. Gonna watch Piastri again. I'd like to see the onboard again, but I watching it on board. I know that I had the knowledge that it was going into the wall anyway, so maybe I'm my opinion's skewed there a bit, but it does feel on board watching now. It just feels like it's I don't know. Again, he got the little lockup as well. Yeah, well, just felt like it was gonna be the woman in the crowd there. Like, oh my god, no way. Dave says Piastri hitting the wall there was team orders. Yeah, Lando crashing practice, Oscar. It's your turn, mate. Do I sound cursed in 1.5 times speed, apparently, says Red Raven. Just going back to check who made the prediction. I can't remember who it was. It's a hell of a prediction. To actually sit and predict 6 red flags at the start of the stream, that's a hell of a guess. That really, really is. Great shout. No further action on Verstappen, by the way. That's been confirmed now. I'm not surprised at that. You can't, yeah. If he's still coming out of turn 16 and doesn't pit, then yeah, absolutely. But he didn't have time there, really. Not to safely get in. Same with Antonelli, so I'd have been pretty annoyed if he'd got a penalty for that, to be honest with you. It is, yeah, Dennis says it's a joke prediction and got lucky. It is, or they're from the future. It's not judged. They could be from the future. It is chucking it down again, so we are still waiting. That's a Max Verstappen. They've got that on a t-shirt, actually, that design, just so you know. People are like, we don't care, sure, but there you go. John says Lando will crash next. You just wait. Oh, God, don't. Oh, dear. Little drops of rain is what Ted's saying, but I thought from the other camera angle that looked a bit more significant than little. I mean, I'm not pretending it's a monsoon, but it's certainly... Oh, every time I say monsoon, I think of Sepang. Anyway, it was not a monsoon, but it's certainly wet enough. It's going to be greasy. Greasy. I'm not using the M word. But what? Oh, this is a... Ted Kravitz asking Karun Chandok there to help us get in ahead of Lando Norris, whose title rival has just crashed for some reason. Yeah. Q3 will resume in 4 minutes, 17:54 local time. So at this point, it's not a session where the fastest one wins, but the one that gets to the finish lap or finish a lap. Yeah. There could be. Look, to me, that's not little drops of rain. That's significant. I'm pointing at the TV for. Look, I think that's significant enough to make this difficult. Karun Chandok, you just need to get out there and get a lap on the board. I think even if you leave a bit of time on the table, if you're a Norris or a Verstappen, you're probably going to pip your Lawsons, your Hadjars, and your Sainzes. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really conflicted here. I would like to get this session finished right down to the 0 on the clock, and we get the fastest driver who could complete a lap on pole. But there is a huge part of me that wouldn't mind a red flag with like a minute and 50 seconds to go, so they don't restart the session, and we get a Carlos Sainz pole and a second for Liam Lawson, a third for Isack Hadjar, because that, what a race we'd have tomorrow. Sepang 2001. Shimi and Barricade laps everyone. Is that somebody asked a question because the 2000, there was 1 year where Murray Walker said, when it rains in Malaysia, it doesn't come down by the bucket full, it comes down by the ocean full. I miss that man so much. But I also remember the year that Ferrari were dominating in Malaysia, and then it just there was rain and oil on the track, and then both cars just went straight on into the gravel at one point. Was that 2001? Possibly. Yes, 2001. I thought it was. Yeah. Oh, what a session. What a race. And he still managed to come out and dominate it in the end. So, yeah. Yeah, we've lost Colapinto. He crashed at Briatore Boulevard. Turn 4. That's what it's called now. That's it. I don't care. Future videos. Yeah. Future videos. Any conversation about Baku, that is now Briatore Boulevard. And if people watch the videos don't understand what that means, I don't care. It's our thing. We're happy with that. Deep into Briatore. Stop it, RC. We've got who's at the end of the pits now? We've got McLaren down there, so it must be Lando Norris because Piastri is in the wall at, well, not anymore. He's on his way back now, but yeah, was in the wall at turn 3. It's tricky because it's not cold, is it? I mean, 24.1 degrees track, 20.3 air isn't hot, but it's not cold. So I'm really intrigued as to how greasy this is. And what are we doing with tyres then? That's what we're waiting for next. Oh, this is hopefully, and I said this last time, in fact I said this every time, hopefully this is the last part of qualifying. Hopefully. Any bets on what corner the next person crashes at? Oh god. Here we go. The final 3 minutes and 35. This is going to be, whatever happens, this is going to be chaos. I'm telling you. Trying to keep up with this. Let's check tyres that are coming out. Norris soft tyres, used soft tyres. Are they softs on the Red Bulls? They are new soft tyres on at least one of the Red Bulls there. Norris, I need to get on with this call. Let's go. No messing about. It's a shootout. We've got an actual top 10 shootout. 3 minute with top 8 shootout. 3 minutes to go. We could still have 8 more crashes, says Charlie. There, easily. Oh, I don't feel like Carlos Sainz is a dirty enough driver to do something silly. I know we've joked about it. He isn't that type of guy, is he? So, but he could if he wanted to. To reiterate the point, because people do get upset on the internet when you make jokes. But I'm not serious with that. Carlos Sainz wouldn't. And if he does open the wall, it won't have been deliberate. What we're watching here, Lando Norris on pit exits. What we're watching here, that's Russell overtaking Sainz. But did he go over the white line? Yeah, Harry Benjamin said it has been done this weekend, but we're all... I don't know where the white line is, really. All four wheels were on the white line. It's a big line, though, isn't it? Yeah. It's Chungus. It goes Max Verstappen warming up his tyres. Lando Norris starting his lap into turn 1 on those used soft tyres. Well, close to the wall, the entry and the exit. But all good. We're going to stay on board with him through turn 2 here. He's got clear track ahead of him. Oh, it's just it's very clenchy, this racetrack when you're on board. Can't imagine what it's like to be driving it. There is quite a bit of water out there, but not enough for Inters at all. Not even close to that as he gets sideways a little bit through turn 3 into Briatore Boulevard. Nicely on the entry and pretty decent on the exit. And then I feel like he's close to the walls, but I still feel like he's just leaving a little bit of margin sideways through turn 6. The back of that car is, really giving him some grief here. But there's nobody ahead of him on a hot lap, so he's going to be okay from yellow flags. But he's through that twisty bit of the castle into the Old Town through turn 12. Russell's been noted for his pit lane infringement, just to let you know. But Lando Norris isn't improving, but he's quick enough at the moment to go fastest at the moment. Into Leclerc. Oh, he's in the wall! Oh, he's got away with it! Oh, Jesus, Lando. Has he got a puncture at the right rear? I think Verstappen was like a leafy hit. I don't know. Sainz is improving. Norris is slower than Sainz, but that was... Oh, he hit the wall, but that was lucky. That was lucky. Call it skill if you want. So over the line goes Norris, who does not beat Sainz. He's 6.5 tenths off him. He's only P2. Verstappen's flying. Russell goes second. Norris is only third. Checker flag is out. It's over. This has really thrown a spanner in the works for McLaren this weekend. It's been a wonky weekend, as we said earlier, or unclean, I think we went with. Is Verstappen slow? No. Lawson's got second. He's absolutely flying. Antonelli over the line goes third. Carlos Sainz is absolutely flying. He's through and gone quicker, surely. Max Verstappen to the line. This can't happen. Never liked him. Max Verstappen takes pole position. What a grid. What a grid. Tsunoda to the line. Goes 6th. Norris down to 7th. Piastri 9th at best. Leclerc 10th at best. Max Verstappen on pole position for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz P2. Liam Lawson P3. What the frip? Frip's the word to go with. See you later, Takeru. I hope you have a good one, but wow. Wow. And it's nearly half a second back to Sainz as well. Norris, I mean, he did hit the wall, but he's 1.1 seconds off. Wow. P3 for Lawson. That is, I think we had was it Brazil last year? Where we had 2 Racing Bulls up in sort of 3, 4, 4, 5, somewhere around there. Whoa. I'll tell you what. That was a long-ass qualifying session. But that was all worth it at the end. That was a lot of fun. And we've got one hell of a grid. I mean, look. I'm going to say it without trying to dump on Carlos Sainz and his fans or Liam Lawson. Pretty sure Max Verstappen now goes in tomorrow as the comfortable favourite to win. But it is Baku and anything can happen. In a straightforward race, he'll run away with it from there. But What a grid behind that. Carlos Sainz and Liam Lawson, second and third. Antonelli ahead of Russell as well. Great. He needed that after his underwhelming weekend, as Toto will put it in Monza, and also the ups and downs of this weekend. That's a great lap to get into fourth place. Tsunoda sixth as well. Credit where it's due. And Isack Hadjar probably actually as disappointed as the McLaren drivers, given his teammates P3. But be interested to know Isack Hadjar. Interested to know how he feels about that. But Carlos Sainz, whew. There was just a moment where I thought he had it there. And then Max Verstappen both made me happy and sad. All in one go. Wow. If the race tomorrow is half as exciting and dramatic as that, we're in for a cracker. End of. Wow. I want to see that Lando Norris one. We were watching that live, weren't we? And I thought it was over then. But to be fair, his first sector wasn't epic, was it? He'd gone yellow, not green. His middle sector was better. But that's because the red flagger came out, I think, on his other one. And then he stuck it in the wall on the way. I think it was at Leclerc, wasn't it? At turn, I've called it Leclerc now. At turn 15. Leclerc's got 2 corners named after him. 8 and 15, but yeah. Oh. Wow. Just taking a second. I can't quite believe what's happened there. I will run through the order in a second and do a little pause for the timestamp. But, wow. I mean, look, we've come into this weekend and the conversation is Liam Lawson versus Tsunoda for that seat at Racing Bulls next season. I know it was a chaotic session. I know in a straightforward session he would be nowhere near that, but still, what a way to go into his final races shooting out versus Tsunoda for that seat for Liam Lawson. I mean, perfect, really, wasn't it? Yeah, Hadjar does look a bit dejected, looking at him walking away there. Yeah. Lawson's been noted for failing to follow race director's instructions regarding maximum delta time. So has Carlos Sainz, but that was no further action. Generally speaking, they tend to pass with no penalty for the most part because, usually speaking, the mitigating circumstances, I wasn't going at that speed because I was getting out of somebody else's way. So generally they're okay. But just bear in mind that there is an investigation going on. Thank you, by the way, if you have joined me for this one. It's been a long one, but I've really enjoyed your company. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much to everyone for your support today. And please do drop a like before you go as well. If you are disappearing, I will be live for a few more minutes yet just to wrap up the order and that, and we'll have a bit more reaction, see what's going on. But yeah, please do drop a like before you go if you are going, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hopefully catch you tomorrow. But I'm going to have a quick pause. We watched Lando Norris there in that wall. I mean, that's where... I mean, even after that, you're losing time, aren't you? So I guess, yeah. But I'm going to quick pause, and then I'll run through the order. So give me 14 seconds. I know, specific. Bet it wasn't even that. So Max Verstappen is on pole position for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, pipping it right at the end from Carlos Sainz, who was half a second further back in what was an incredibly chaotic qualifying session. Liam Lawson, a brilliant third as well, only a 10th off Sainz and 6/10 off Verstappen, which is a heck of a lap. So Verstappen first, Sainz second, Lawson third. As I said a moment ago, you'd have to say going into tomorrow, in a straightforward race, Max Verstappen surely favourite to disappear with this one. Kimi Antonelli out qualifying George Russell, up and down weekend for him, but ends up P4, so good stuff for him. Only 100th off Lawson, and 3.5 tenths quicker than his teammate, to be fair. George Russell, who's had a rough weekend, not been very well. He's ended up 5th, so not all bad, with Yuki Tsunoda in 6th place, a second off his teammate, so... Not having to go at Yuki, that's his best quali for a while for one reason or another, but he's a second off in a Red Bull. Lawson's 6/10 off in a Racing Bull, so a good start to the shootout, let's call it. Lando Norris wasn't improving massively on his final flying lap, hit the wall at turn 15, kept going, but wasn't able to do anything from there. He's 7th. Isack Hadjar 8th. I think he looked disappointed, so we'll see what he says in his interviews later, I'm sure. Oscar Piastri stuck into the wall at turn 3. Game over for him, but he's still 9th if it stays as it is and doesn't have to take any penalties, and only somehow 2 places behind his teammate. So Oscar Piastri threw the door wide open for Lando Norris, and he walked into the door. Charles Leclerc, P10, he crashed out at turn 15. Quite a hefty one as well. Mistake little lock up on the left front, straight on for him, so he didn't improve. A disastrous second half of quali for Ferrari. It really, really was. Fernando Alonso, P11. Lewis Hamilton, P12. A mixture of wrong tyres, bad timing, and the car not being in the window he needed to be in. It seems to be what he's saying in his interview. So very disappointing given the pace that Ferrari showed this weekend. Bortoletto 13th, Lance Stroll 14th. Ollie Bearman was another one in the wall alongside Piastri and Leclerc. He crashed at turn 2 and stopped nearly at turn 3. That brought out the red flag. Franco Colapinto, he crashed at turn 4, which is now called Briatore Boulevard because Pierre Gasly went straight on there. Colapinto 16th. Hulkenberg also crashed at Briatore Boulevard. Lost his front wing but got going again. Ocon 18th, Gasly 19th, and Albon started it all with his crash at turn 1, hitting the wall on the inside. And in total, a record-breaking 6 red flags in qualifying, and that 1 hour session ended up being over 2 hours. So absolutely bonkers is the word I've just seen in chat from Pascal. Bonkers is a great word. Yeah, fantastic stuff. And as I said a moment ago, I'll repeat it again because people might come in at the timestamp. If the race tomorrow is half as dramatic and exciting as that, we're in for a good Sunday. So let's see what's happening. But that's an incredible grid. I don't want to take anything away from their performances. It was a chaotic session, but let's be honest, Sainz, Lawson, well out of position. So we're going to get some drama and some excitement tomorrow, and definitely going to get some overtaking with Norris, Piastri, Leclerc. You could argue Hadjar, maybe Hamilton as well in there, definitely, you know, coming through the field. Albon in a car that today was good enough for P2, apparently, P20. He's going to get some moves done. So we're going to get a good race tomorrow. So that's where I'll lead to. Let's do some predictions, and I'll take some of your comments about the session, and then we'll wrap up a little bit more quickly today because it has been quite a long stream. So get your top 3 in chat. Who are you going with? I'm going to go. On Thursday, I think I went Piastri, Leclerc, Norris. That's going to score well, isn't it? But based on this, I'm going to go Verstappen, Russell, and a McLaren. Do you know what? Because he's further down, Piastri, screw it. Let's make it interesting. Probably Norris, but it could still end up McLaren, Red Bull. But that's my top 3 for tomorrow. Let me know yours in chat. I'll read them out. I'll give you some shout-outs as well. I will butcher names, but we'll do our best. And then we'll wrap it up after that, I would imagine. But yeah, that's my top 3. Verstappen, Russell, and a McLaren. I'll go with Piastri. But what I'd like to see, no disrespect to anybody, is Verstappen winning, Sainz second, Lawson third, and neither McLaren finishing, because then we could all start to believe that maybe, just maybe, this is all going to twist and turn before the end of the season, but not going to happen. So let's have a look. Let's do some. I mean, Bruce says, if it rains, I bet the race will finish at 50%. Depends. Do you mean length, or do you mean number of drivers left in the field, Bruce? Or both? Maybe that'd be exciting, wouldn't it? Crew says Leclerc crashes the wall. He did indeed. Fud says Norris, Lawson, Tsunoda tomorrow, and more safety cars in the Formula 2 race. Yeah. After a long time stopped, like that sparred. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to read predictions. I read that Bruce is saying things like, okay, fair enough. Well, you got the order. They hit the wall, right? Leclerc, Piastri, Norris. That's true. Yeah. I'll take that. Red Raven says Sainz, Lawson, Hamilton, because if today was insane, tomorrow will be asylum. Yeah. I mean, look, Red Raven, Mark agrees with you. Top 3, Stroll, Bearman, Hulkenberg. I know we're the only 3 that finish. Could we get a Monaco 96 style race? We'll find out. Not long to find out. Nick says Verstappen, Norris, and Piastri. How many red flags are? I mean, that we got. CP wants Sainz to get a podium. Darky House says double DNF question mark. Yeah, but if we have a double McLaren DNF and Max wins, that surely brings him into play for the championship, and that's going to spice up the back end of the season, which is getting a little bit So having another driver in there. I'm not saying Max will do it. Long way to go still, and there is still quite a big points gap even if he wins it and they don't finish. But it just puts that question mark there, which will make things interesting. So Rocket Riku says, what is this grid? Monaco 96 has 0 red flags. Yeah, it's still ended up with three drivers in the race. Well, I think there's an argument there for what counts. I think there is an argument for 4, I think, but 3 is officially it. Will Piastri start in a pit lane notice warrant? I don't. If they can replace like for like, he should be okay. And because he's gone in front right and his rear was okay from hitting the wall, I mean, his gearbox and engine would probably be okay. But because the car did go up in the air and drop back down, so that's the concern, isn't it? So we'll see what happens. But he might be in trouble for a pit lane start. But if there's no damage to the engine and gearbox, I think they'll be okay if they can go like for like. Anushka says Verstappen, Russell and Sainz is a top 3. Perhaps we should try and predict how many DNFs tomorrow. I say 6 as Red Raven. I mean, I went 4 in my official predictions. Official. Max and 2 former teammates says Addy Boy. Yep, that'd be good. I'll go with Max, George and Carlos, the CPB. And Paula says, yes, Sainz deserves a podium and Williams as well. So, yeah, thank you for your predictions there. It's, yeah, what a session. What a session. I don't know what to say. I mean, I think we've been set up for a great race. No further action on Lawson, by the way, on the maximum delta time. Also, no further action on Russell for the pit lane infringement. So, we're good. Neelish says, I predict 0 safety cars for the race. This is the thing, right? We've got that grid. We've just had that qualifying session. We're all bigging it up. It could be crap tomorrow. It could be the most boring race I've ever seen in our life. But I feel like that grid has at least set us up for something happening. So, obviously, safety cars aren't needed for it to be exciting. The racing could do it itself. Again, if we have a straightforward race, no retirements tomorrow, and that's the grid, I still think we're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure you join me for the watch-along tomorrow. Very much looking forward to that one. So Platalobium's 3-word quali review is surprise Sainz show. There's a few people in chat that might replace Sainz with another word there that begins with S for show. But yeah, that's a good... Not only is that a good 3-word quali review, it's full of alliteration as well. So I'm very happy. That's very satisfying. Paula says Max, Sainz and Piastri for the top 3. And Paolo says, does Verstappen have a shot at the championship? If we get a double McLaren DNF and he wins tomorrow, I think he brings himself into the question. The question mark ends up there. But I don't think he's close enough right now without McLaren imploding for us to be able to put a question mark there. Does that make sense? The question mark thing that I'm using. Like, no, but if things go his way, we can at least ask the question. But at the moment, not for me. I want him to, but yeah. Red River says no, but understand you regardless. Fair enough. It makes no sense, but we get what you mean. That's all I ask. Yeah. Kids Morane is saying, I'm questioning what I just saw. I think we all are. A bit of a chaotic session. So, any more questions? Sorry to wrap it up so quickly afterwards. It's just because we've been live for so long. So, yeah. Zach Brown needs a defibrillator. Yeah, he's not... how will Sainz go to Norris's Platalobium? I think without a bit of drama or a bit of luck, I think a podium's probably a bit too far. Just on raw pace, I think you'd expect the McLarens to come through. Probably Leclerc, maybe others as well. But I think that's a big ask for him. But a well-timed safety car, a little bit of drama, it might work out for him. Thank you very much to Rocket Raccoon for becoming a member. Appreciate that one, mate. As always, your support is hugely appreciated. And it has been for many years. So good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I think points, maybe top 5 there. Corn is saying probably top 5, but even top 6. I mean, that's still a really good result for him. It'll be disappointing to go 2nd to 6th, but in that car, you wouldn't call that a bad day, would you? So, but yeah, and kids tomorrow, I think Verstappen wins it tomorrow. I think Verstappen wins it tomorrow. So we'll see how we go. I'm going to leave it there. I won't do shout-outs for this, but if you want to put your qualifier of the day in chat, I'll try and take a rough guess at who you've gone with. I suspect I know. But yeah, let me know your qualifier of the day, and then I'll have a mental breakdown, and then I'll run through them and work out who you've all gone for. But I'm guessing you're going to say Sainz. I think nod to Lawson as well. I think the pressure that's on him coming to this weekend... coming to this weekend, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, but yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there. I am going to wrap it there. So while I do my sign off, I'll keep an eye on chat, and then I'll let you know who you've gone for, what looks like you've gone for overall for driver of the day. So thank you very much for your company today. It's been a pleasure as always. It was a bit long and a bit chaotic, but we had fun. Great to talk to you all, and thank you for being, for the most part, from what I could see, a very pleasant and sociable chat rather than just the usual stuff you get on the internet. So always appreciate that one. So thank you very much for your company. I will be back tomorrow with the Azerbaijan Grand Prix race watch along. I'll be live from 12. No, I won't. I'll be live from 11:30 a.m. 11:30 a.m. You're gonna get morning, Sean. I appreciate that's well into the day by that point, but it's still morning, Sean. That's UK time, of course. You'll have to convert that to wherever you are. But yeah, 11:30 a.m. UK time. We'll watch the race together. I'll do my terrible Crofty impression and mess everything up, and then we'll do what we used to do, have a bit of a waffle afterwards as well. It's just changed on the multi-view thing. It is raining, so there you go. Let you know. Please do drop a like, though, before you disappear. We got to 154 in the end, so thank you so much for that. Well over 100, so any more, just a bonus now, and I'd appreciate that one. And make sure you join me tomorrow. Let's see what you're saying in chat. Sainz, Antonelli, Sainz and Lawson. Kimi gets a shout for being ahead of Russell. Yeah, I agree. Lawson, Sainz, yeah. Sainz and Lawson. I think Sainz probably gets a nod from most of you there, but yeah, certainly Lawson. But yeah, we'll leave it there. Thank you again. I'll hopefully catch you tomorrow. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean. This has been the F1 Word. And until next time, goodbye.